What?
Christmas, just a week ago.
Man.
Christmas. Christmas was just a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited about this information. Dude, Bradley, that top tier is only for if China enters the... And, oh, by the way, Bradley, we are live.
Hey, welcome to the RnB
I
podcast.
forgot to hit the intro. I forgot to hit the intro.
Bruh.
I know.
Welcome to the RnB podcast, the podcast where we talk about everything but RnB.
Oh, not that intro.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna do the freaking JoJo thing.
Or am I?
What? What other thing will you be using?
Just give me a second.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't do that ever again.
Mr. Beast! So, in case you guys didn't know, today's the Overwatch tier list.
Man, we haven't done a tier list since last year.
It's been a year since we did a tier list. It's been a year since we did an R&B podcast.
Yeah.
New year, new me. Before we get started, any New Year's resolutions, Bradley?
Start doing the little hobby commitments that I said I'd do last year.
So commit to last year's resolutions. That's your...
Yeah.
I feel like that's almost I feel like that's most people basically every year.
Yeah.
I swear I'm gonna lose weight this year. This year was a dud. I'll lose it this year. You know, I just noticed how big the gap is between Snivy and all the other characters.
Yeah.
I think it's just because I thought it was going to be a lot bigger than it was. So yeah, today's tier list is Overwatch. So we'll be ranking each character by how hot they are. First of all,
Bruh.
that'll be one thing we'll take into consideration. We're going to take into consideration their abilities. If they have more than one ability, each of those abilities will be considered like one tier. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're gonna average out all their abilities. We'll consider that one thing. We're gonna take their primary fire and secondary fire. Those are gonna also be one thing. And we're also gonna rank them like that was all my original stuff. That like originally that's all it was gonna be. And then I decided there'd be one more factor.
Lore?
Their country of origin.
Bruh. I was thinking, why not just lore?
No. Overwatch lore sucks.
Yeah.
It's not that good.
I mean, it's not that bad, but...
Alright. Is there anything else you have on your mind before, not related to the tier list before we...
From my understanding, last time I checked, there has been a new development in fusion technology.
Fusion technology? What on earth is fusion technology?
You know how nuclear reactors work? We just get like a freaking element that's highly unstable and let it fall apart. It falling apart creates a lot of energy. Fusion technology has two atoms, smash them together to create a new atom, and that creates a lot more energy than regular fission.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
This might help solve the energy crisis. Unfortunately, it takes years to even start building a fusion reactor, let alone getting it slimmed down to a more easily repeatable size.
See, I told you we could be an educational podcast, Bradley.
Yes.
Yeah, an education / comedy. It's what we are. So what you're saying was we'll have unlimited energy.
That's if we don't screw up the planet more than we've already have.
How will this affect the trout population? These are the questions everybody's asking right now.
No comment.
No comment on the. Seems a little
No. Co-
shady. Seems a little sus. You know what? I don't think I'm for the nuclear reactor if I don't know how it's gonna affect the trout population.
I mean, I don't think it will affect the trout population.
It will not affect the trout population.
Correct.
So the trout population will not decline. Correct?
No, I said whatever this thing does, it will not affect the trout population.
Well, if the trout
It
population were to decline, it wouldn't be because of nuclear fission.
because of nuclear fusion. Correct.
All right. You know chemists wear a funny shirt that says "Gone Fission."
I'm not wearing that shirt.
One of my teachers had that shirt. I fucking loved it because we were both fishing aficionados. A
I
fish
see.
aficionado.
Oh my.
Oh man. And he also happened to be a chemist.
Yeah.
He was bald.
Stop. Stop.
That's about as far as it went though. He wasn't the right age or right body type or anything else close to that. So that was about all he had going for him. He was a chemist and he was bald.
All right then.
Honestly, he wasn't even bald. He was just like really closely shaved. All right. So, first character we have on our list is Diva. Now, Diva is a former professional gamer who now uses her skills to pilot a state-of-the-art mech in defense of her homeland.
Are you just reading the Wikipedia?
No, I'm reading the official Blizzard website.
Okay.
Again, from South Korea, the worst of the two Koreas.
Bruh.
And so, first things first, let's get country of origin out of the way. South Korea, I think that's an automatic C tier.
uh, disagree.
Based on that alone.
Why is that? May I ask?
K-pop.
That's
North
fair.
Korea doesn't have that. North Korea doesn't have that.
Well, what does
There are
North
people.
Korea have?
They have that one little girl who they threatened to kill her entire family if she didn't perform that song perfectly. You know the one that starts off with the N-word?
Oh my god. I always forget about that sometimes.
Kisses to my father, kisses to my mother, and a bunch of other random shit I don't remember the lyrics to in English. If
I
she
don't think that's better than K-pop.
that as a song it is. I mean the context not.
I would at least say at minimum B tier. But let's get
No,
over her abilities and stuff.
that's not where Diva. That also another thing we're ranking is fun. How fun this character is to play. I
Oh,
forgot about that. Like yeah, the character could be dog shit, but if they're fun to play, they're fun to play. You know.
yeah.
Now me and Bradley aren't exactly Overwatch professionals. We are both very very bad at the game.
Yes.
I'm considered bad at the game, and I can beat this fool in a 1v1. So that just goes to show you where we stand.
Yeah, I don't think I've touched Overwatch in a long while.
Yeah, this fool got mad that healers get targeted.
It's not like that. It's not that healers get targeted. It's that the healers that I usually play as, barely have a way to defend themselves.
So, anyways, her primary fire. There's two forms to Diva, by the way. Her primary fires are fusion cannons, which are honestly pretty weak on their own. We know that Diva, when the base game dropped, had basically nothing but that, and she was really weak. It's basically fast firing shotguns. Again, they're really weak, but they do put in work if you know how
Yeah.
to use them. I say those things themselves are probably like a C tier or a D tier, so we're still averaging here around C tier for now. Next up, we have her rocket abilities. Abilities. We have her rocket booster. We have her defense matrix, and we have her micro missiles. Now, those are what make Diva good.
Yeah.
So, one thing that Diva has that most tanks don't is extreme mobility. She could fly
Yes.
across the map within a matter of seconds. And that is an advantage. If you're ever running low during a gunfight, you can just rocket boost away. If you ever need to get aggressive and start a push, rocket boost towards them. It's really good. Her micro missiles make up for the damage that she can't really do with her primary fire, and her shield matrix blocks any hit, basically hit scan projectiles and some regular projectiles, not all. She can't block Sigma's rock. She can't. I think. But she can eat ultimates. She could eat Hanzo's ultimate if she does it in time. She could
Farah's.
eat. She could eat Pharah's ultimate. She could eat Zarya's ultimate. It's fucking busted. And I think with her abilities alone, that's like a good S tier, averaging her around A tier.
Yeah.
Averaging her
I would
around
put
A
her in
tier.
A tier.
And now we have her ultimate, which self
The
destruct.
Diva Bomb.
It's called self destruct, but yeah, Diva
Yeah,
Bomb is
well,
another. Now, basically, her suit self destructs. It creates a bomb that could wipe out the entire enemy team if you place it right. If you
yeah.
place it right, it's really good, but it's also really easily evasive. I'd give that an A tier. Again, keeping her at A tier. Then she has her baby form. She only has 150 health. Um, Her baby form can either be activated by her mech being destroyed by the enemies, just
Or
shooting her
using
enough,
the ultimate.
or using the ultimate where we get baby form Diva. Her pistol does a lot of damage, but it is projectile based, so you do have to aim ahead. You need to be skilled to use it.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Bradley, there was a point in time where I was better at using baby Diva than I was actual Diva.
Honestly, same.
Like her pistol does so much damage. It's fucking crazy.
yeah.
But it does a lot of damage, but the shots are admittedly hard to hit. Oh, not hard to hit, but harder to hit than her normal shots.
Yeah.
Next, we have fun. How fun she is to play. I think I'd give a good S tier for how fun she is to play.
Yeah, I agree.
How fun she is. She's really fun to play. I love playing Diva. I'd go as far as to say she's my favorite tank to play. Because that mech is so much fun, and her baby form is just so fucking busted sometimes if you know how to use it. Then finally, our last ranking, hot.
I don't
I'd
think you
give
need
that
to
a
say
triple
anything
S.
else.
I think in total, I say she's an S tier character. Fun to play, great abilities, hot, shitty country of origin, but you know what? We could we could forgive that. I'd put her at S tier. Where do you think she belongs?
I'd put her at a high A tier.
High A tier? Drop her at A tier. I could agree with that.
Hold on, I didn't have the right sign. Hold on.
I saw the sign. It opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. Need a glowing ink sac. Okay. Okay, cool. You have it. Next tank is Doomfist. Doomfist is the calculating leader of Talon, a terrorist organization and paramilitary force that works in direct opposition to Overwatch. He is the leader of the ops. He is a tank, born, used to run his shit in Nigeria, good country, good country. But now runs his operation in Italy. But we're talking about country of origin here and not current operating country. Nigeria, great country, amazing country, funny country. I'd give Nigeria the fact that he's from Nigeria a good A tier.
Alrighty then. I mean, I don't know much about Nigeria, honestly.
Well, all you need to take into consideration is the first 5 letters.
God damn it, Richard. Are you?
Now, Doomfist as a character, especially since they moved him to a tank, weak. Really weak.
Yeah,
When he was DPS, I probably would
he
have.
was a lot better.
He was
Yeah,
a lot
as
better, yeah.
DPS.
But now that they moved him to a tank, they really nerfed him. So the first thing we're gonna look
Yeah,
at is his hand cannon, which is his primary fire. His primary fire, you get 4 shots. Those shots kind of like charge up over time, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to explain it other than you don't really reload. You just wait for your thing to cool down. So you shoot 4 shots, then you wait. You can shoot 1 shot again if you like, but you'd have to wait again for that shot to recharge. It's kind of weird.
yeah.
It's really weird. I've never been a big fan of his primary fire, whether he was a tank or not.
I always
Like,
hated it whenever I played Doomfist.
honestly, like that was more of like a last resort.
Yeah,
Honestly, I'd be willing to put his primary fire as like a D tier or F tier. Didn't even do that much damage either,
yeah, definitely D tier.
and it's even worse now. Now, next up we have his rocket punch, which honestly I'd give most of his abilities now a C tier. We have his rocket punch, which is a chargeable punch, which just you
Which
charge
used to like
it.
one shot squishies, but not anymore.
Not anymore. Which you charge it, you shoot forward, you punch somebody, and you can throw them into a wall. If you can manage to throw them in the wall, you do extra damage. And that extra damage was usually enough to kill. It's not like that anymore. Next up, we have Seismic Slammer, which is a leap and slam kind of thing. Pretty good for mobility. It has its tactical uses, but in terms of damage, it's not as crazy as it used to be again. But his newer ability, which is a power block, which basically blocks front attacks, and it will empower your rocket punch. It will make the rocket punch a little bit better. I still think that empowered rocket punch is not enough to one shot. Uh,
It's I don't think it is.
I don't know. I don't really have too much experience with tank Doomfist. I have a lot more experience with DPS Doomfist.
I don't know. The only tanks I've played were original Overwatch 1, Orisa, and Diva.
I see.
I used to play Zarya when I first started playing Overwatch, but not anymore.
Next up, we have his ultimate Meteor Strike. I believe that also got nerfed too. They
It
just,
did?
yeah, they just did this guy dirty when they made him a tank. All they
Yeah.
did was give him more health. Honestly, he's a cool character. Just like looking at him as a character, he's really cool.
Yeah, I could see him being like
And
a cool
and you know
antagonist.
what? Even though he's a lot weaker now, he's still fun to play. He is. I was playing him recently in Overwatch 2, and I had a good time. I had a good time.
Yeah.
Again, he's still fun to play. Not as fun as he used to be when he was a DPS
Bro,
and when he was good, but he's still fun to play. Right now, I'm looking at C tier for Doomfist.
yeah, me too.
Um, he's still fun to play, so I'd give him like an A tier in terms of like how fun he is to play. Again, he just has a lot of mobility for a tank, which tanks are usually slow for the most part. So yeah, he has that mobility, which makes him fun. I think that's what makes an Overwatch character fun for me. Good mobility,
Yeah.
and he has that. His ultimate's kind of weak. Everything about him's kind of weak. Hot.
I'll let
Uh,
you take this one.
as a man, he's a big buff sweaty man. I mean, come on. Get him oiled up, get him twerking. He'll show you a
What the
good time.
fuck?
That's a pretty
What
pretty good.
the
But yeah, that's all I gotta say about Doomfist. A good C tier. Good C tier.
Putting him at C tier.
All right. Next tank we have is Junker Queen. I don't have too much experience with Junker Queen. I
Neither
don't.
do I.
Armed with her axe, Carnage, and her electromagnetic gauntlet, and the cutthroat leader of the Junkers on a mission to rule the world. She comes from Australia, which is pretty mid country. Pretty mid.
Mid? What makes it mid in your eyes?
It's just redneck England.
I would say Texan England, but sure.
Yeah, and also the monstrosity of animals that come from that country. Oh my god, especially their insects.
God, I don't want to think about it.
That's why Australia is so isolated from the rest of the world.
You mean other than the fact that it was mainly just used to put prisoners there?
Australia is so isolated from the rest of the world. Like I'm talking like territorially. It's a giant fucking island. Why? No, not for the prisoners. They didn't make Australia. They used Australia, but they knew the rest of the world could not handle those animals. You can't. Imagine a spider the size of your palm would be considered a small spider.
Yeah, I don't
Anyways,
like
first off,
spiders.
we have her primary gun, which is just a basic. It's just a
It's
basic
just a
shotgun.
basic shotgun from
Yeah,
from what I've seen.
it's good. It does good damage. It's not useless. It's a good shotgun. I'd say it's about as good as Reapers. I mean, yeah, I give it like a good B tier, honestly. Like it's not useless, but it's not amazing either. Now she has a lot of abilities. She has her blade, which is a knife, and when you throw it at an enemy and you stick it, it'll do bleeding damage, and you can also recall that knife and bring that person towards you, like Junkrat's hook or Junkrat, like Roadhog's hook.
I was about to say like freaking scorpions, rope dart.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. It's really cool. It does bleeding damage. It's pretty good if you pair it with your shotgun once you pull it back. It's nice. So if you get an enemy at a range out of your shotgun range, throw that knife at them, pull them back towards you. They're doing bleeding damage. You're shooting them with their shotgun. You're just doing a lot of damage. Next up, we have Commanding Shout, which gives a little bit of a health boost and movement speed to your allies. It's basically a support ability. It's really good. It's
Yeah,
really nice, useful. It's nice to have. It's good for again if you're trying to rush. She has a lot of abilities. It's crazy. Next up, she
yeah.
has her axe, which is this giant fucking axe that you swing, and
Is
like
the axe like that's her melee, right?
it's not her. She has like a normal melee, but this is like again considered an ability.
Okay.
And yeah, again, it does that bleeding damage too. It does bleeding as well. And it can hit like 3 or 4 enemies. I think so long as they're within your line of sight and close enough, it does it. Then we have then we have Rampage, which is I think her ultimate. I don't know. I haven't used her too much. I think it's her ultimate where she charges forward. I think it does that shit
Yeah, it
that
does
Anna's
anti-heal.
Hugh. Yeah, it does anti. It does anti and it gives your team a health boost, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's what happens.
Or you know what? No, I don't think I. No, it just does the anti. It just does the anti.
Yeah,
I think it's just paired with the shout, which gives you the health boost. And I think she has a passive ability.
she has a passive.
Yeah, it looks like it.
What's her, what's her passive?
Adrenaline rush. Heal from all damage over time dealt by wounds.
Ah, I see.
So yeah, like so every damage over time that you're doing, I think it heals her. I didn't know about that until I looked at the official Overwatch page.
All right then.
That's a good passive. Overall she's a pretty solid hero. Her gun, I'd give her like a good B tier. Her
Yeah,
abilities, I'd say they could go from
I'd
like a
say
good
they're
S.
like A or S.
Yeah, I'd say they're S. Yeah, I'd say they're S. And fun to play. I played her a couple of times, and those couple of times I had like a really good time. Honestly,
I'm gonna say I'm gonna let you talk about your experience because I haven't touched most of the cast of Overwatch.
yeah. I don't have too much experience with her, but the experiences I did have were fun. The reason why I don't have too much experience with her is because Jacob usually hogs the tank role, and
Yeah,
I'm stuck either doing damage or support. Which, as of late, I've been liking damage a lot more again. Um, yeah, she's a good character. She's fun to play. I give her an S tier. In terms of hot, I think
S.
really.
Yeah,
I was gonna say she has some things about her that turn me on, but she also has some things about her that turn me off.
I mean same here, but I'd still give her S.
You still give her S? All right.
Yeah.
I mean, since you're so fucking excited about it, sure.
No, I know. I just want to just interrupt.
I mean, fuck. Yeah, great character overall. I'd say good A or S tier would be fine with me. Where do you think you'd want to put her?
I'd put her in S.
Put her in S. Yeah, she has like a lot of good abilities.
Yeah,
Yeah. Again, this is coming from a bronze and a silver player, so
yeah.
don't take our opinions too much to heart. Next up, we have Orisa, which
Changed a lot between Overwatch 1 and 2.
yeah, honestly, I was a big fan of boring Orisa. I understand that more people think she's more fun now. I get it. I can see why. But I was just a big fan of boring Orisa.
Same here. I mean, like, to be fair, I feel like one of the like big problems with the original Overwatch was double shield.
That's true, and it did
And
fix that problem. Well, honestly, it's not even that big of an issue anymore. Like whether
yeah,
they
because it
reworked
got
her or not.
yeah,
Honestly, though, I think double shield is only like an issue between like lower ranks.
or whenever there's two tanks.
Like yeah, no shit, but like I think that was like only like a big problem for like lower ranks. I think most like higher rank people had like one shield tank and one like more like useful
Off
tank.
tank.
Yeah, but like them bronze and silver kids loved our double shields because the other bronze
God.
and silver kids had no idea what to do against it. Is Numbani a real place in Africa?
I don't know. I'm not good at geography.
I've never heard of Numbani until I played Overwatch.
No, it's not a real place.
It's a fictional place.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, a mythical African city, but
Yeah.
it is from Africa.
Uh,
I guess we'll look at the continent of
somewhere
Africa.
near, somewhere near Nigeria. The wiki says.
Okay,
Yeah, that's all it says. Location: Numbani, Africa, near Nigeria.
country of origin. It's fake. It's not real. F tier.
Fair enough.
Orisa is built from parts of one of Numbani's short-lived OR-15 defense robots. Orisa is the city's newest protector, though she still has much to learn. So first we have her primary fire, which is very similar to her Overwatch 1 primary fire, except instead of reloading, it like has like a heat
It's on a
system.
cooldown. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's still just about as good as it used to be.
yeah. The
Some
pellets
people
are a
were
bit
willing.
bigger.
Yeah, it is a little bit harder to aim your shots, especially from further away. Again, it's projectile based, and when
Not hit
somebody's like
scan.
moving, it's not hit scan. And when somebody's moving far away, like moving like strafing, and they're far away, yeah, good luck. But it does do a decent amount of damage and can shred when you can hit those shots. I'd give that like a good A or B tier for
I'd give
primary.
that like an A tier for a primary.
Think so? Yeah. The only character I won't be able to rate so far right now, Bradley, is Ramatra because I've only played him once, and that was just one life in
I don't
Mystery
think I
Heroes.
have them unlocked.
Oh, you could
Again, I
still.
haven't touched Overwatch.
When a
I
character
don't think
is
I have that
locked,
downloaded.
when a character is locked, they're only locked for competitive.
Okay.
For a quick play and whatever, you can still use them.
Okay, I see.
So
That
her first
makes more
abilities,
sense
her
why people were complaining.
her first ability was her javelin.
Wait, are we not going to talk about her old abilities from Overwatch 1?
We're not talking about Overwatch 1, Orisa.
Alright, Overwatch 2
Yeah.
risk it is. Because, like, I know we talked about a bit like Overwatch 1 Doomfist.
Yeah, it's because like Doomfist, Overwatch 1 Doomfist and Overwatch 2 Doomfist, they're the same character. It's just weaker, a lot weaker.
So, just like comparing Overwatch and Overwatch 2.
I mean, yeah, like, but Orisa, they changed her whole moveset.
Yeah,
There's only
alright,
one
that's
ability that
fine.
carried over. So
All
first
right,
off, we have
yeah.
her javelin throw, which is again a completely new ability. Um, it's just a spear you throw. I think it stuns real quick. Yeah, it does stun.
Yeah.
It does stun and a little bit of knockback. Um, and I think it does extra damage if an enemy hits a wall as well. Um, pretty good ability. Hard
I
to hit
always
at a
get hit by
distance, but
it.
you're yeah, but you're not really gonna use it for much of a distance anyway. You're just gonna use it to create more distance between somebody that's getting awfully close to you.
Yeah.
Pretty good ability. I don't think it does too much damage, but it is a good
It
ability.
does its job well. I'd give it an A tier at least.
Yeah. Well, we have to like categorize all the abilities together as one.
All
Next
right,
up, we
fair
have
enough.
Fortify, which is basically the same as Overwatch One.
Yeah, no CC, reduced damage, right?
Yes, reduced damage. You only take headshot damage, and I believe you get a little bit of extra health too. Um, Also a new thing that they added to Fortify, which wasn't in the original game for obvious reasons, is it helps with the weapon cooldown. You don't it cools down your weapon a little bit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it doesn't take as long for your weapon to overheat. So that's one cool thing about the. Then next up we have the javelin spin, which stops projectiles and blocks melee attacks. It could
For a
also
tank, I
it
think it's a good skill.
yes, and it could also be used offensively to push enemies back. So if there's a pesky reaper getting a bit too close to you, just
Spin.
yeah. So with those abilities, I'd give them like a good A or B tier. They're pretty good. They're really good
Yeah,
actually. Yeah, I'd
I
give
give him
them an A
A.
tier. Um, Next up we have her ultimate, which is called Terra Surge, which is like sort of like a chargeable ultimate, I guess. Like the longer you hold it, like the more damage you're gonna do. It creates like this
Okay, I
little
see.
gravity field that sucks all the characters towards you. And if you keep them in that circle for a long enough time, you could just like kill them all.
Yeah, this is the whole like do not pass shit from Lord of the Rings.
It could it could be it could take out the whole team if you could like
If
if
you're
you could get
skilled enough,
lucky.
yeah.
And it's gonna take luck because the whole team's spread apart. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But if you can manage to catch the enemy team all grouped up, and you'd be able to wipe out the whole team easily. I believe you're still vulnerable to like getting shot at, so use it wisely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good ultimate. Again, potential to wipe out the whole team, which is always a plus. So I'd give that like a good A tier. I think I'd give Orisa overall an A tier as a character. I'm not gonna rank hot.
Me neither.
I don't think a robot is hot, or if anything, it gets an F tier for that. So because there is no hot and her country is fictional, I'm willing to give her like a good B tier.
I was thinking B or A.
We both agree on the B part, bro.
All right then.
The B tier brought down because of her country of origin being
For being
fake.
a robot? Hey,
For being
isn't this the
fake.
racism that started the plot in the
Hey,
first
shut the fuck
place?
up! Shut the fuck up and just put Orisa in B tier. Ramatra we will not rank because I have like almost no experience with them at all.
Same here.
And same
Next.
goes for Bradley. He's the newest Overwatch character, so it makes sense. I still have some time to get to know him. Bradley's just gave up on Overwatch 2, so.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Reinhardt.
Reinhardt. The definition
Reinhardt.
of video game tank.
Reinhardt Wilhelm styles himself as a champion of a bygone age who lives by the knightly codes of valor, justice, and courage. Uh, Country of origin is Germany. Good
We
country.
will move on. Yeah,
Good country.
great,
Good.
great bratwurst. They have a freaking amusement park, Beerland.
Great country full of alcoholics. One notable historical figure.
We don't talk about that.
We'll, some of you may know him today as Kanye. Um, I think because of the country's past, we'll give the country a B tier. If it weren't for the country's past, I'd give the country a good A or S tier. It's a fun
To be
country.
fair, it's not like they're proud of it either.
Yeah, they're not that. Yeah, we'll give them credit for that, but it still happened. You know, being like being a
Uh,
pedophile and regretting it after you're still a pedophile, buddy.
yeah,
It's still a part of you. So sorry,
that
Germany. That
that's what you
that.
get for starting both world wars.
Oh
Okay,
look,
I
man.
know,
The first
I
one, man. Like,
I know
yeah,
Austria-Hungary wasn't really them, but they were really egging them on to start it.
like, like, I don't think they're the ones who decided. I don't know. Gabriel Princip was that his name?
Huh?
Uh, Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah, he was assassinated by a Serbian assassin, and Austria-Hungary wanted to get back at Serbia because they blamed Serbia for the assassination, just because the
Yeah.
assassin was Serbian,
Do you remember
and
the name of the?
Germany
Do you
was.
remember the name of the assassin?
I do not remember
It's
the name of the
Gavrilo
assassin.
Princip.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, but that's how it's spelled.
Well, I just know that like Germany was really egging on
Yeah.
Austria-Hungary to start a war.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of on them that World War One happened.
Yeah. Ooh, the second one could have been avoided.
Yes, it could have.
Could have really easily been avoided if we didn't if we didn't treat Germany a bit too harshly.
Hey, man, they
Look,
started the first one, all right? They had it.
look. Did we have to do all that?
They
No.
did start the first one. They
Did
they
did
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 start the war that the two sides were made to make sure wouldn't happen.
did we have to fuck them so hard to the point that $1 trillion was equivalent to $1?
Hey, that's what they get for printing money.
Again, what a struggle. What a struggle. Anyways, Rocket Hammer. Good primary, lots of damage, capable of hitting more than one enemy at a time. Does leave you vulnerable. It is a melee attack, and that is his only
Yeah,
attack. Does leave you really, really vulnerable. If you have the healers to back you up, you should be fine. But if you're in a lower rank like us, you do not have those healers to back you up.
nope.
Especially as a solo tank now, since there's no other tank to help you with that front of the line damage.
Mm-hmm.
You're definitely extra vulnerable, which I'd give the primary fire, or I guess the primary attack, a B tier.
Yeah.
Again, it's good on paper, but like in practice,
In
again,
practice,
you're left really vulnerable, and in a lower tier like ours, which is where most Overwatch players are at.
yeah.
Most Overwatch players are in the bronze, silver, and gold range. You're probably not going to get too much done with Reinhardt in those tiers. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're definitely not going to get much.
Yeah.
His abilities, we have Charge, one of the funnest abilities in all of Overwatch.
Yes. Yeah.
Like there's
Knock
game
someone off
modes.
the edge and you go off with them.
You could do that, or just ramming somebody into a wall and basically one-shotting them. And if they do manage to survive, you can just easily just rocket hammer them. It's good.
Yeah.
Again, does leave you vulnerable. Your mobility is very limited. You could basically go straight, and maybe you have like
And
30
that's
degrees
it.
worth of left and right to go if you really need to. But again, pretty good. Um, if you need if you need to use it offensively, you have that option. If you need to use it defensively, I guess you have that option, but I wouldn't recommend it. Um,
I'm
like
I
if you need to
guess
use it
like
as an escape ability.
I wouldn't say that's a good escapability option.
I mean, you have the option. It's just not a very
It's
good
an
one.
option. Yeah.
I guess if you really need to get back to your team really quickly, if you charge too much forward. But if you charge too much forward, that's basically your fault. So Fire Strike got a little bit of a buff from Overwatch One. So in Overwatch One, you fire one, you have like a 5 second cooldown, I think, or something like that. Don't remember too much. But now you have two of them before you activate that cooldown.
Huh.
Yeah,
I didn't know they added a second one.
yeah, they added a second one so you could double fire strike, and it kind of charges up like Tracer's little fucking speed dashes. You know how those charge up?
Yeah.
Yeah, it charges up similar to that, so you could charge up one and use it if you want, or you could just wait for all two of them to be reloaded again. Pretty good ability, pretty low in damage, but it's your only ranged attack, and it can finish off enemies if you really need it to. It's also a good way to like apply extra pressure. And then his last ability is his barrier shield. A big ass shield that you walk forward with, but the drawback to that is you can't attack.
Yeah.
It
But
could
hey,
it.
that's what the DPS are for.
Mhm. It's a good. You could cover your whole team with that. It is vulnerable to melee attacks, so if there's another Reinhardt on the team, yeah, put that shield down immediately. That's my tip for you. I learned that from a professional Overwatch player. Like if another Reinhardt is hitting you, I mean you have no choice but to put down that shield, or else you're just gonna die for no reason.
I see.
Yeah, it's a good shield, does a lot of damage. I think in terms of abilities, I give him a good A or B tier again. They're not that great. Fire Strike leaves you vulnerable while you're shooting it. Reinhardt's just a very vulnerable character,
Yeah.
but he does have his. And next we have Earth
His
Shatter.
ult. Yeah, his
Yes,
ultimate.
his ultimate.
The hammer down.
Not too much of damage, but it does stun the enemy team for a few seconds.
Which is pretty
Whoever's caught in
useful
it.
if. Yeah. I think that's pretty useful.
Yeah, it's very useful. Again, you're pretty vulnerable to getting that ult canceled, which is a lot of
Yeah.
drawbacks for most ultimates. I think for the first few tanks that we have, they're not really too vulnerable to their ultimates being shut down, except for maybe Orisa.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, but like every all of Reinhardt's moves make
High
him very
risk.
vulnerable.
Yeah. He's very high risk, high reward.
Yes, but that Earth Shatter is really good ability. I'd give that like a good S tier if you could hit it.
Yeah.
If he could be consistent with it, it's a good S tier. It's a monster of an ultimate. Um, let's see what else was it? Fun to play, very much so, very much
Yes,
so.
very much fun to play.
If you're getting shit on, then not so much. Like like if they have nothing but like ranged heroes and you're just like getting fucked before you can even get close to anybody, I recommend just switching off. You're not gonna have a good time. But with like normal team compositions, he's a pretty solid choice. He's fun to play. It's nice to get up in people's faces. It's also good to have. He's also a good shield to have. Probably not the best one for Overwatch 2, but in Overwatch 1 he was definitely a lot more useful. But he's still not bad. I'd give him a good B tier as a character. Turns up hot. I'd give him an A. He's a pretty rather attractive fellow. But I think as a hero, I'd give him like a good B tier and A tier. But I'm leaning
I'd
more towards
say.
B.
I'd say overall he's a good A tier.
A tier? Okay.
Yeah. He's fun. Like I feel like the how
You think
fun he
I
is
think
really
the
brings
fun
him
makes up
up.
for it.
Yeah.
Next tank we have Roadhog. Another all-time favorite. Comes from the mid country of Australia. Country/continent.
Yep.
Roadhog is a powerful enforcer with a well-earned reputation of random and wanton destruction. First, we have his primary fire and his secondary fire. It's basically a shotgun that shoots.
Shotgun and shotgun, but further.
Yeah. His primary fire is a good shotgun, does a lot of damage. His secondary fire, I think it does less damage, but it does go further.
Good for applying pressure.
Yeah, of course. Roadhog. His primary fire is it's okay. I'm honestly not a big fan of it. It's kind of boring, low key. Like just
Yeah.
his primary fire alone, but he does have abilities that make up for it. So I'll get to that soon. His primary fire alone, I'd probably give it like a C tier, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, if that's all you add to him, he'd be a very boring character. Next up, he only has two abilities, but these two abilities are fucking broken. First
Yeah,
off,
unless there's an Ana or a Sombra on the enemy team.
oh yeah, of
Well,
course, but
as
well,
someone who
Sombra not
played
so much.
as someone who played Ana a lot, it feels so satisfying to anti-heal
Oh yeah, of course.
him.
But first off, we have his hook. His hook has a 20-meter range. I don't know if they changed that, but last I checked, it was 20 meters. And it honestly has a pretty good hitbox too. Like you could miss completely technically and still hit their hitbox and pull them towards you. It's really good for taking people off of like cheeky advantage spots. It's also pretty good for making up for his lack of range. And a lot of people like to act real cheesy with it. They like to act goofy with it, and they'll like
Yeah,
fucking hook you off the map.
I always get jump scared by getting hooked by Roadhog.
You get jump scared. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really annoying to go
you
up
you
against.
you never like unless you like see the Roadhog. You if he comes at you from off screen, you will not see it coming.
Mm-hmm. It's also kind of annoying too. If you're getting hooked the whole game, it's just like, oh fuck. 'Cause one of the most annoying things in games is just like not being able to go where you want to go.
Yeah,
That's one reason why lag is so annoying. But yeah, that hook is a it does 25 damage. It's a and again the hook is not the hook you don't use it to do damage. You use it to bring people towards you so you can do damage at your effective range.
correct.
Then there's his heal, which heals 300 damage done to him. That's half his health.
Oh, yeah, the freaking vape fucking shit.
Yeah, the little fucking his dizzy. Um, yeah, I'll take a quick little fucking huff of that good Zaza juice, and yeah, he'll basically be back at full health. I remember when I was first starting to play Roadhog, I would survive all these like 1v5s and 1v6s off of that alone.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. So Roadhog's primary fire is kind of shit. Kind of like it's good. It does a lot of damage. It's just not that special. But his abilities are what make up for it, and they're really what make him an overpowered character. Um, I'd give his abilities an S, and his like primary fire like a good B or C, which gives him like an
Yeah.
overall A so far. We have his ultimate Whole Hog, which is a really fun ultimate, I think.
I still
Especially
can't hear
now.
whenever he uses it.
I'm going Whole Hog.
Yeah, but like throughout an entire like fight, you're with that like low of a delivery, you're not going to hear that.
You know what you will hear?
A
Same brain. But
Same
yeah,
brain.
so what it does in terms of damage, it technically does a lot, but you're not gonna see it because it knocks back enemies so fucking far. It's not even funny.
Which I think is pretty useful.
It's
And
very
it,
useful. Again, if you want to throw people off the map,
unless
you
there's a
got that.
diva.
But honestly, like the Diva's defense matrix is not gonna last as long as his ultimate does.
Nah, it's not. You're right.
So so if there's a Diva charging you, you could just fucking push her back all the distance she came. Which I think again really useful ability, and technically it does do a lot of damage. You just don't see it because they get pushed so fucking far.
Yeah.
But if you manage to like corner a bunch of people against the wall, which is that's how I got my play of the game for Roadhog when I was doing play of the game for every character.
Yeah.
By the way, I gave up on that. I'm still stuck on Anna.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm never gonna get past Anna. It's ridiculous. We actually had a bunch of guys who were willing to like fucking throw the match.
Oh
So just so I
yeah.
could get that play
I
of the game,
remember that.
we got them all really low health, and I just antied all of them, and I still didn't get play of the game.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, I'm getting off topic. Roadhog's ultimate did get a buff in Overwatch 2, in which you actually control when it fires. So you press R2 to make
Oh
it fire,
yeah.
and that is a buff. Why? Because Anna can no longer sleep you out of your ultimate.
She she can't.
Nope. So if you wake up, you still have your ultimate ready to shoot.
Okay, I see.
So yeah, she could sleep you, but by the time you wake up, if assuming the timer hasn't run out, you still have your ultimate going.
All right. Yeah.
His ultimate I give a good S tier. His abilities I give a good S tier. His primary fire I give a good A tier. terms of hot, if you want to be funny, yeah, he's the hottest character. If you don't want to be funny, come on. It's good D tier, my brother. I'd give him a good A tier as a character.
Yeah, same here.
Yen, S tier, he's not fun enough. Not fun enough. He's fun, just not enough.
He's fun. Yeah.
Next thing we have Sigma. Now, my opinion over Sigma has changed a lot over the years, but right now, he's probably up there as one of my favorite tanks, not gonna lie.
Huh.
Alright.
Uh, what's his
Sigma,
country of origin?
a brilliant astrophysicist. Dr. Cybrin de Kuiper's life changed forever when an experiment gone wrong gave him the ability to control gravity. Now, Talon manipulates them to their own ends. So he's a scientist who learned how to control gravity, who essentially got gaslit into working for fucking Talon.
Yeah.
Um, he was born in the Netherlands. The Netherlands. The
Yes.
Netherlands.
Known for their beer.
A lot of European
Heineken, I
countries are known
think.
for the fucking alcohol.
Heineken, I think. I'm not sure.
Heineken?
Yeah.
I thought that was German. I'm not even gonna lie. Ah, Bradley. Okay,
No.
I'm. My stomach's starting to hurt.
Oh boy.
Like,
You
yeah.
alright? Did you have bad chorizo or something?
I have a stomach illness. I've been having it, but I've been having it since that first time I got sick. But
Ah.
I need to take a quick little pause. I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick.
Oh. Um.
This is a
I'm not.
necessary pause in broadcast for
I'm not
health
sure what to
reasons.
do.
Um, for now, Bradley, explain some FNAF lore. Just
FNAF. Uh.
start from the beginning, and just go as
Uh.
far as you can go all the way until I come back.
Oh boy. How the fuck do I start? William Henry. Two guys. They both had their own franchises that had to deal with with animatronics. I'm not sure what William had at first, probably the Freddy Fazbear brand, while Henry had the mediocre melodies. Henry was actually quite successful with it, and uh, I think William Afton was like going into some type of bankruptcy, had to do like some merger thing with Henry's, resented him ever since, up to the point where he got drunk one night, went over to one of the spots where I think her name's Charlie or yeah, Charlotte, Charlie for short. I guess she was for some reason locked outside of the establishment. Uh, then the security puppet witnesses William go up to Charlotte and just murder her and then drive away. Uh, I think then William goes home that night, goes to Junior's, which I think is like I'm not sure what Junior's is supposed to be. I heard it's either a bar or it's the second place's location. Either way, the dude outside tells him that he's not supposed to be allowed there, so he goes home and finds out that one of his sons has broken out to quote unquote that place again, and there's weird footprints around along with his son's footprints. I'm not entirely sure which son it is, whether it's Michael or Evan. I'd probably say it's Michael. I'm not entirely sure. Uh, the security puppet goes outside in the heavy rain. Goes over to Charlotte's dead body, holds her, and I think she then possesses the security puppet. I think William gets a rush from killing Charlie and decides, hey, let's kill more kids. Uh, so he kills a bunch more kids. Missing children's incident happens. Um, shit. I barely remember anything. Uh, he starts make he starts making the I think it's the Funtime animatronics. Yeah, the Funtime animatronics, and they're built specifically to capture and kill children. Uh, William Afton finds out about Remnant and is starting to experiment with children's souls to see if he could unlock the secrets to immortality. Uh,
All right, now shut the fuck up before I stuff you into a Golden Freddy suit.
God damn it.
I love how I was looking at Floor this whole time. So his primary fire, they are called.
Right back to Overwatch.
Yep. I don't even know where you were in the story. Hyperspears. Um, Basically, you don't unlimited ammo.
But no
They're
ammo. Because you
they're
only shoot two at a time.
you shoot two at a time, yeah, and you get like a little short charge, and they do a lot of damage, and they also do like like would it be AOE? They have like an area. They
Yeah,
explode.
AoE.
They
Literally just
explode.
throws exploding dice at you.
Yeah, and they're pretty good. They can also bounce off of walls. They explode at a certain distance. They don't.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. They're okay. They do a lot of damage. They do damage to a lot of people. I'd give that like an A tier maybe.
Yeah.
In
If you
terms
know
of
what you're
ability,
doing.
yeah, of course. There's a little bit of a skill gap. It's hard to aim. It is really hard to
Yeah.
aim. But like once you get consistent with it, you're really good. First ability is kinetic grasp, which it takes all it takes most damage that can be thrown at you, and it'll turn it into extra shield health.
Hmm.
I think we call that over health now in Overwatch.
I
That's his first
think
ability.
so.
That's his first ability. Really good ability. Nice defensive ability. Absorbs all the damage. But the thing is, most people are smart enough not to shoot at it, so it kind of does nothing half the time.
But it is like a way to like it's good for like trying to escape, trying to make sure you don't die.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's also accretion. Do you know what accretion is, Bradley?
Is that the name for the rock throw?
Yeah.
That's the name for the rock throw?
Mm-hmm. He just throws a giant rock and it stuns the enemy. It's a little bit hard to hit. It was a lot better in Overwatch 1, but
Yeah.
they had to nerf it for obvious reasons. So I think it was a bit too good. I think the further you threw it from, the longer the enemy would be stunned. So
I didn't know that was a thing.
yeah, when Sigma first came out, that's how it worked. But now, the further you throw it, it's actually worse. The less damage you do. I think the amount of stun time stays the same though.
Alright, I see.
So the amount of stun time stays the same no matter where you throw it, but if you throw it further, it does less damage, and yeah. I think they made changes to it. I'm not too sure. I haven't kept up with Overwatch in a good minute. Next up, we have the experimental barrier. It's just a shield that you can put up in front of you and recall
And
at
then
any
call
time.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty useful. It's kind of like floating. It kind of goes straight, and if there's like any form of elevation, it'll continue upwards. It's a little goofy, but it's a nice shield. It has a lot of health and pretty good at protecting your whole team. It's very similar in size to Reinhardt's, maybe a little bit smaller.
I think it's smaller.
A little bit
Richard, you
smaller.
there?
Yeah,
Okay.
my bad. Gotta like one of my text messages failed to send. I was like, uh
I see.
oh. His abilities, they're okay. Shield's kind of basic. The rock's really good, and the kinetic grasp. Again, really, most people are wise enough to just not shoot at it, so you don't really get the benefits from it. I'd say for his abilities, I'd give him like a good C tier. They're not useless. They have their uses, but like altogether,
I
I'd
think
give
they're
his a
around like B tier.
B tier. Yeah, I'm honestly willing to put him as B tier as a character already. In terms of fun to play, I like him now. When he first came out, I hated using him, but that's because I just couldn't aim his balls and I wasn't doing any damage. But now that I've gotten a little bit better with him, I'm starting to like him a lot more. I can see how useful he could be. I think a good B tier is a good spot for him. He's not the
All
funnest
right.
character ever, if I'm gonna be completely honest. But he's not boring either. I've seen worse. Oh, his ultimate. His
Oh
ultimate
yeah,
is
his
Gravitic
ultimate.
Flux. His ultimate again, it also has the potential to wipe out the whole team.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good as an ultimate.
Leaves you very vulnerable, but most ultimates do. So yeah,
Again,
I'm
high
still
risk,
willing to
high
keep him as a B
reward.
tier. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's nice for him.
All right. Our next tank character, Winton.
The ape, the peanut butter loving ape.
A super intelligent, genetically engineered gorilla, Winston is a brilliant scientist and a champion for humanity's potential. He's a tank, born on the moon.
The moon's
That
only been important for one event for what I know, that being the space race.
that's an SSS tier, bro. Imagine being able to tell somebody you were born on the moon.
In this day and age, yeah, I'd give that a triple S plus.
I'd give that a triple S plus. Yeah. First of all, we have his Tesla cannon. So as the name might suggest, it shoots electricity,
Yeah.
and you don't really have to aim it all too well. It does the aiming for you basically. It's really good. You can hit more than one enemy at the time. The damage is low, but if everybody's grouped up, you're just doing like a consistent flow of damage to all of them. And assuming you're not the only one shooting at the enemies, I pray to God you're not. Um, yeah, you've just got all those enemies in entangled, and then he has a secondary fire now, which is what they just added to Overwatch 2, which is like a projectile, and depending on how much he charges, how much damage it'll do. So if you charge it
I
to use
see. It's a
25
charge
ammo, it'll
shot.
do, yeah, and it has really good range. I'm not too sure if it's a hit scan or projectile. I haven't used Winston too much. Again, Jacob kind of hogs the tank role, but it is
Yeah.
really good. And again, the potential to hit more than one enemy at a time with his regular primary fire is really good. I give his primary fire an A tier, even though the damage is low.
Yeah,
It's just
I'd give
really
it an
easy
A
to
tier
use,
as
has the
well.
potential to do a lot of damage to more than one person. His abilities, he really only has two. He has his shield bubble, which is it's a pretty weak shield, but I mean, I think it's probably one of the most useful shields. It's good for like trapping a character inside something or just giving yourself cover to run in and out of. It's also good for protecting other teammates if they're in the middle of a battle, just creating a little bit of separation. It's
Hmm.
nice. Again, the bubble's really like the health is really low, but the cooldown is fast.
It works as a shield.
It does its job, yeah. And then he has jump pack, which is really fun. Really fun
It is
ability.
fun.
Good movement ability. Good for attacking. Good for running away if you really need to. Overall, Winston's just a pretty versatile character. Mostly short range, but he does have long range capabilities now. Back then, it was just that primary fire and that jump pack. That's all he had.
Yeah.
And it does do damage. Fun fact: I was playing a competitive game back when Overwatch 1. I was playing a competitive game. There's one guy on my team was playing Winston. 40 jump pack kills.
What the hell?
40. He got a card for it.
Nice.
It was crazy, crazy. I'm at a loss of words. I can't believe I saw that. History in the making. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it was a really good match. I think we did lose, but it was still crazy how he got that many
Yeah.
jetpack kills.
Wait, Richard,
Mm.
you forgot to rate the hotness for Sigma.
Oh, you're right. He has his feet out. I'd give it a good A. And for his abilities, I'd give him like a good B tier. They're not crazy. His primary fire and secondary fire, I'd also give those a good B tier. His primal rage, Loki kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Gives you a shit ton of health, but
Yes.
all you can do is melee and jump more. You don't have your shield. You don't have any more fire. Your melee does a shit ton of knockback. The thing
You
is, the
just
second you use it, everybody's targeting you.
you just become a bigger DPS.
Yeah, and not that good of a DPS either. Again, everybody targets you. It's not that good of an ultimate. I use the ultimate a D tier. I guess if you really need the health boost and escape, you could use it for that. But that's not what your ultimate should be used for. You know, your ultimates are supposed to change the pace of the game, and ultimately it's just not what it does.
I see.
So I'd give his ultimate like a good C or D tier even. Winston, he definitely picks it up in the fun scale. In terms
Yeah.
of fun, Winston's definitely up there. It's fun jumping around as him. It's fun getting 40 jetpack kills in one competitive match. He's really useful. He's a good character overall, and I'd say a good B tier works
Character
for me.
overall B tier. I agree.
Yeah. uh, let's see, what other characters do we have? I think we have one more tank after him. Oh, two more tanks. Wrecking
Yeah.
Ball. I love this little fucking hamster. Also born on the moon, so SSS tier for country of origin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a resourceful and highly intelligent mechanic and fighter, Wrecking Ball rose from the laboratories of Horizon Lunar Colony to become Junker Queen's champion. His primary fire. It's just a basic machine gun. It does a pretty decent amount of damage. It doesn't have too much bloom. It's pretty accurate. The
Machine
damage
gun
isn't
go burr.
amazing. The damage isn't amazing, but it is good. It is useful. It does its job. It's really accurate. It's fun. It's a good machine gun. It's a good machine gun. I'd give
Yeah.
it like a good A tier. His abilities, first of all, I guess just switching the ball form. So wrecking ball is quite literally a wrecking ball. The name of the hamster itself, his name is Hammond.
Yes.
I call him Hamon. Yeah. So first of all, he has like a little grappling hook thing, which he can use to make himself go quandivously fast. Give him high ground. It's a very useful
It's
ability. I'd give
very
that.
versatile.
Yeah, it's a very useful ability. I'd give that ability alone an S tier.
I'd give that S tier.
And that ability could also be combined with another ability he has, which is the ground pound or the pile driver, which while you're in a highly elevated surface, you'll like charge up like this little thing. You'll slam to the ground, doing damage and launching enemies around. Again, pretty good for like breaking up a group. Or like it also does a pretty decent amount of damage too. And then he has one more really good ability, which is the adaptive shield, which uh, if you get close to a lot of enemies, you'll actually get a bunch of shield. You'll get more shield depending on how many enemies there are around you.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty cool mechanic.
Yeah, it's a really good ability. I think in terms of abilities, he has an S tier. Now I know as a character he's not really used a lot, but I don't think he's technically good if you're actually good at the game. And there is a bit of a learning curve to him. These abilities aren't exactly easy to use, but once you master them, you're unstoppable. You're really unstoppable.
Yeah.
I'd give him good S tier. So far, I'm giving him an S tier as a character.
Same here.
Next up, we have his minefield, which is it's okay. It's not my favorite ultimate in the game. It's really easily avoidable. All it does is basically make one spot uninhabitable, but like you can shoot all of them. There's like a lot of abilities that'll get rid of like a good chunk of them.
Yeah.
I
Like Maze Ultimate.
May's ultimate, Zenyatta's ultimate, Tracer's ultimate. I think McCree's regular fucking grenade now will
Yeah.
fucking. In terms of hot, he's a fucking hamster.
We don't have Jacob here since he's our resident zoophile.
Yeah, he is a resident zoophile. So yeah, you can't rank him on hot there. Um, I'd give him an S tier. I love. He's one of my favorite tanks.
I agree. I think he's an S tier.
And in terms of fun, I think he's funner than Diva sometimes. Next up, Zarya, who
What
I
the hell
think.
happened to the tier list?
What the hell happened to the tier list? The fuck?
Hold on.
Yeah, I have no
Gotta
clue what happened there.
fix the tier list.
I'm gonna be
I just see them break and I'm like, what the hell?
Alexandria Zaryanova is one of the world's strongest women, a celebrated athlete who sacrificed personal glory to protect her family, friends, and country in a time of war.
Now, her country of origin, Russia.
These were different times. I'd give her country of origin a higher rate,
You say
but
that, but you also said that South Korea is kind of bad for K-pop.
Russia is bad.
I'd
Russia
give it a.
has a bad history, and has a bad present. It's all been downhill since the fall of the
Correct.
Soviet Union.
Since.
Since the Soviet Union.
Since.
Since the Russo-Japanese War.
Since the last SAR.
Basically the Russo-Japanese War. They somehow
I say your
lost that.
country goes in no tier. Just no.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Russia, but right now you're currently the worst country in the world. So first of all, we have her particle cannon, which has two fires. We have a laser, and we have a bomb. I don't
Yeah,
know
I'd
how to
say like
explain it.
grenade launcher
Like a
for
grenade
like
launcher kind of thing. Yeah, boom.
it goes
Yeah,
thunk.
they go thunk. So her primary fire is the laser. Her secondary fire is a little grenade launcher. The primary fire, so she has an ability called shield bubbles, which makes you do more damage. And once you get really charged up, her laser does a shit ton of damage. But her laser is more of like a close range thing. Her her actual grenade launcher is more of a far range thing, and it also has tactical capabilities, allowing you to move faster, get back into the fight faster, at the slight cost of your health. But it's honestly worth it.
Yeah.
It's really worth it getting into the fight that much faster because all you need to do is shield bubble yourself, and we'll just wait for your shields to heal back that health, or even your healers to heal back that health that you lost on your way over. Her primary fire, I give those like a good A tier. They're really good.
Yeah.
Next up, we have her particle barriers, which is a barrier, which is just a shield bubble that surrounds either you or a teammate. You have the choice whether you want it to surround you or a teammate. You get two of them on a charge. Very similar to Tracer's blinks. I'll call them for now. I don't know what they're actually called.
Yeah.
I think they're
I
called
think the
blinks.
yeah, I think they're called it's called blinking.
Yeah, so they charge up the same way as those, where you could have two of them if you wait, or you could just have one at a time. It's fine. Um, Beforehand in Overwatch 1, you had one charge for the bubble for yourself, one charge for the bubble for your teammates. I low-key prefer it that way. But that's just me.
I can see that.
Because you have more shield bubble in total.
I can see that.
Anyways, that's not important. That's up for debate. But yeah, so there's one for yourself, one for your teammate. Again, you have the option. What the fuck? Is that a passive? Oh yeah, okay, I guess it is technically a passive. Um, Again, her shield bubbles. If they get shot at, the more damage you're gonna do as Zarya. So you always want to have a shield bubble, especially on a teammate that's rushing in, or if you're gonna rush in yourself. You charge. Their abilities are really good. They protect you and they make your primary fire a lot better than it already is. So I'd give like a good A tier or S tier for her bubbles. Then her ultimate is the Graviton Surge, which does very little damage, but it does take all the
But
enemies
it
in the
just
area and put them
yeah.
into one spot. And if you combo those with other abilities, you're set. One thing that used to be common when there was two tanks was a diva bomb and graviton
Yeah.
surge. But now you could also do it with tracer. You could do it with
McCree, Cassidy.
yeah, you can call him McCree. Like
Yeah.
I mean, we just call him McCree for so long. It's just weird to call him anything else.
Yeah. Matt Mercer. Uh, Jotaro.
Jotaro, yeah, we'll call him Jotaro. And it's pretty good. It has again, but it does need to be paired with another ultimate for it to be that much useful.
Yeah.
So that is the
Or
downside
at
of
least a
Zarya's
really good,
ultimate.
or at least a really good push.
Yeah. So it is very heavily teammate reliant. You're not gonna do much with it by yourself. I think because of the fact like the ultimate alone is not that great. Or actually, it does have its uses. Like you know that hole in Ilios. If you put it like the
Oh.
edge of that hole, you could fucking drop the whole team in there. Like it does have its
Yeah.
uses, but it's very situational. I'd give it a C tier.
Yeah.
Like it's not a bad ultimate, but it does need to be paired with another one to be to be at its most useful.
Yeah.
But overall, Zarya is still an A tier, S tier in terms of hot. I definitely let her stomp on my. She's good.
I'd say A tier.
I yeah. I'd say overall as a character, I'm like stuck between A tier and S tier. I'm leaning towards S tier though.
I Okay, yeah, but country of origin though.
Oh, country of origin. You're right. A tier.
I'd give that
A
B
tier.
tier.
B tier. Okay,
B
yeah, B
tier.
tier. B tier. Sorry, Zarya. That is our last tank.
Yeah,
All
do
the
you want to
all.
like? We already hit 76 minutes. You want to keep going with the entire cast?
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Next up, our damage heroes. Now, there's a little bit of a longer list. It's actually been shortened thanks to Overwatch 2 making one of our tanks or one of
One
our
of our
DPS a
DPS a
tank.
tank.
First off, we have Ashe. I love Ashe.
Same here. I think she's really fun to play.
Country of origin is the United States. For anybody in the United States, if they have a particular state that they come from, we'll rank them by their state. She comes from Arizona. There is
Oh,
nothing in Arizona.
I guess there's like the Devil's Canyon and a lot
And
of
the there's canyons. That's it.
there's and desert, just desert.
Canyons and desert. Come on, Ash. There's a lot more to life than canyons and desert.
Like, yeah, I'm sorry, Arizona. You don't really have much going for you.
Arizona, you're mid. So we have her primary fire or her weapon, her primary weapon, which is
Just hip
her lever
firing.
action.
Yeah,
So
lever action rifle.
when you hit fire, you fire quickly, but you fire low damage shots that are less accurate.
Mm-hmm.
When you ADS, you fire a lot slower, but your gun does a lot more damage and
And you get a little
it's a
zoomed
lot more
in.
accurate. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you get a little bit of zoom. One of the few characters you can actually ADS with. Most
Yeah.
characters you can't. It's definitely worth that. It's definitely worth ADSing when you're fighting somebody at long range and you're fighting somebody at short range. It's definitely worth using your primary fire. Very versatile weapon. You have something for close range. You have something for mid to long range. Very good weapon. Good A tier, maybe even S tier if I'm willing to put it there. Again, you do need to be accurate. So for
But she's
abilities,
still really fun.
yeah, definitely. For abilities, we have Coach Gun, which is a little shotgun. Doesn't do as much damage as I thought it did, honestly. It's a little shotgun that creates distance between you and an enemy if you really need it. It's good if there's like a Reaper pushing you or something.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Good
just
for like rocket jumping.
yeah, it's also good for positioning yourself because if you shoot it down, you'll go up. It just pushes you back. It pushes the enemy back and does a little bit of damage to the enemy. Overall, really good. Again, if you're getting rushed, it's really good to use and potential escapability
Also,
possibilities
you
as
get
well.
funny kills.
Funny kills, yeah. Next up, we have the dynamite, which is basically well, it is what it is. It is
It's
dynamite.
yes, yeah. It's just
It does damage over time and like one big burst of damage on impact.
yeah.
You can shoot the
Uh,
dynamite to make it explode where you want it to explode, so you have that option.
Although I always miss when I try to do that, but it's still really fun to pull off.
Yeah, it's a very good, useful ability. I like it. I'd give her abilities and guns an A tier.
Yeah.
Her place of origin, Arizona. The C tier. There's nothing there. People aren't dying there. There's just nothing to do.
Exactly.
And then her ultimate, we have Bob, which I think depending on how good of a player you are, is depends on how useful Bob is. Honestly.
Yeah, for the love of God, don't point him to a place where there isn't a wall. He will just keep going.
Yeah, and if you are, make sure you're gonna hit an enemy.
Yeah,
Because he'll actually toss the enemies in the. Actually, try to hit your enemies. Because if he actually hits them, he'll actually toss the enemy in the air and start shooting at him.
yeah.
Really useful when placed right.
Overall, I feel she's really fun to play as.
Yeah, I'd give Bob a B tier just because again you like again very useful, has a lot of health, does a lot of damage, but if you don't know how to use it, he's just kind of a waste.
Yeah.
Again, B tier for ultimate. In terms of hot, I I like her more than Diva. I can tell you that.
Same here.
Um, I'd give her a I'd give her an A tier.
I'd say
I'd
like
give
yeah,
her
A or
overall A tier.
S.
I
Overall, like as a character, I'd say A or S.
A.
A.
Bastion. Bastion's
Can we skip
changed.
this one?
Bastion's changed a lot, many times throughout many incarnations of Overwatch. Don't even get me started on how he was in the beta.
Remember when he had a shield?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on how he was in Overwatch 1. He's always been like a really busted character. Really busted.
Yeah.
He's Swedish. There's only one good
He's
Swedish person.
Swedish?
Swedish robot.
I didn't know he was Swedish.
Once a frontline combatant in the devastating Omnic crisis, the curious Bastion unit now explores the world, fascinated by nature, but wary of a fearful humanity. We have his normal primary fire, which I think is the funner way to play him, especially in Overwatch. I have not used him in Overwatch 2 yet. I haven't used him. And they changed
Same
them a
here.
lot. They changed them a lot. He no longer has his healing ability.
Which I think is, well, finally, thank God.
Yeah. So he has regular primary fire, which is not too different from the original Soldier 76's primary fire. Um, we have his walking mode and we have his turret mode. His turret mode is on a timer now, but he's now no longer
Able to
stationary.
move.
Yeah, it's actually a lot scarier.
Yeah.
I'd give him a good S tier for his primary fire alone. Like
Yeah.
the shredding capability is fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
Bastion has a grenade now.
Which
Which
I feel makes sense for a war robot.
yeah, of course. Which is today's sponsor. No, I'm just kidding.
Bruh.
Is there some form of legal punishment you can face for faking a sponsorship?
uh, not to my knowledge. Maybe there is. I think that might count as fraud.
We're gonna speed through this a little bit more. We're gonna speed through this. Tactical grenade does a decent damage, bounces off of walls, explodes when on impact or on impact with enemies or the ground. Then yeah, overall good character. I'd say his abilities give him like a good A tier, and his ultimate it's an artillery strike, which you choose like 3 points on the map, I believe, and you'll shoot rockets there. It's or I think you shoot 1 point on the map and it shoots 3 rockets. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good. Pretty good. It's basically Doomfist Ultimate. Let's be real here.
Yeah, but I feel it's better.
Yeah, I think it does more damage. So,
Yeah.
which is he's a robot, so that gives him F tier and hotness. I give him as a character probably like a good A tier or S tier. Again, the shredding capability is just fucking crazy.
I'd give him S.
S, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Jotaro from New
Matt
Mexico.
Mercer.
New
He's
Mexico,
from New Mexico?
goated state, greatest state of all time. For one reason and one reason only, We all know
Oh,
that reason.
I just realized that reason.
Yep. Armed with his Peacekeeper revolver, the outlaw Cole Cassidy doles out justice on his own terms. Bit of an outlaw. Works for Overwatch now. Peacekeeper. You have two ways to fire it. You have your primary fire, which is just regular revolver shots. Have good range. They're hit scan. They do a lot of damage. It's overall. You have to be accurate, but whatever. Then you have a secondary fire, which fires all the bullets in your chamber all at once, basically, like in a
It's
really rapid
fanning the
success.
hammer.
Yeah, that's how fast it shoots. It's really good, does a lot of damage, really good for close range, but you will be risking one accuracy and the lack of headshot bonus multipliers. You have a combat roll, which is a good little. Is depending on which direction you're walking, it'll roll you in that direction. Pretty good, and it also reloads your gun. So if you do combat roll, or if you
If you
fan the
fan the
hammer,
hammer, combat
combat
roll,
roll, fan the hammer,
you'll.
you're doing a lot of damage to somebody really close up, especially a tank. They got rid of his stun and replaced it with a magnetic grenade, which does a lot more damage than I want it to do.
I think that was a bad idea.
Yeah, I think his stun wasn't that big of an issue, honestly.
And it was kind of like his main like counter for people with lots of mobility.
Yeah, but yeah, it's there. Technically, it is a good ability. It does make him a stronger character, so I'd give his abilities an S tier. I'd give his gun an S tier. His Deadeye ultimate, um, in lower ranks like ours, I'd give it like a good C tier, just because most people just don't know how to use it.
Yeah, but
Most
like
people are
on its
trying to
own.
go. Yeah, on its own, it's really good. Um, most people, especially in our tier, are trying to go for those crazy 5-man kills, 6-man kills. Oh, not 6-man kills
Yeah.
anymore, but they're trying to go for like these crazy 4 or 5-man kills. You don't need to do it for that. Getting 1 or 2 kills is going to be a lot more useful than you holding your ultimate, waiting for the perfect fucking opportunity. And you're left really, really vulnerable. Really, really vulnerable.
Very.
You're at your most vulnerable when you're using McCree's ultimate, so you do need a good vantage spot to where you're protected by somebody, or just where they just don't know where you're at. But again, don't spend too much time trying to set it up. Just use it wherever you can. If there's a Reinhardt holding your shield in front of you, and you see a couple of guys, use it. If they run away, they run away. Your ultimate still did something.
Yeah.
I'd give his ultimate an A tier, but depending on whose hands it is, it could be as bad as an F tier, honestly. But we'll give it an
I'd
A
give
tier
it like
overall.
a B tier.
We'll give it a B
His
tier. Yeah.
ultimate.
Well, I give McCree as a character an A tier.
Uh, yeah, I'd say he's either A or B.
I'd give him an A tier. He's fun to use. Kind of hot. Echo, hot robot, hot robot. I'm just putting that down now. Hot
Okay.
robot, hot robot. Uh, damage from Switzerland. Swiss robot. Echo. Her primary fire. I love Echo so much. I'm honestly willing to put her at S tier already.
Bruh.
I'm willing to put her
Alright,
at S tier
but at
already.
least elaborate. Go through.
Oh, so first we have her tri shot, which is like a long shotgun, long range shotgun. Shoots 3 little
Mm-hmm.
pellets, does a lot of damage, goes really far. Next, we have her cum balls, also known as sticky balls. They're little sticky bombs that you could attach to a character, and it'll just fucking obliterate them. It'll obliterate
Yeah.
them. Next, we have her flying, which gives her insane mobility. Insane mobility. She can go so far so quickly, and she could also use it to float down to the ground, similar to Mercy. Then we have her focus beam, which if the enemy is below half health, I believe, you'll do 4 times the damage, and that shit will
Really?
shred a tank. Yeah, it'll shred tanks. It'll shred anybody who's low enough on health. Then her passive ability is the gliding I was talking about. Then her ultimate ability, duplicate. It'll duplicate any character on the enemy team. Yeah, and you'll basically be able to use that character, that ability, and you'll be able to charge up
And their
that character's
ultimate?
ultimate and their ultimate, and it charges up so fast their ultimate. So yeah, it's just insane. Echo's just insane. I'm willing to give her an S tier.
Alright.
Genji. Genji's
God,
fun.
he's nerfed to the ground now.
He has been nerfed to the ground, but he's still fun.
He's fun, but God damn, he was nerfed to the ground.
Country of origin, Japan. S tier country. Anime comes from there. We have his primary and secondary fire, which is fucking ninja stars. Hold on, how cool is that?
that's pretty cool.
You have your primary fire, which shoots them all in a straight line forward. Then we have the other one, which shoots them all in a straight line horizontally. And so you mostly want to use the secondary fire for people who are close, and for people who are far, that's when you want to use your primary.
Yeah,
They don't do too much damage. They're honestly not that good, if I'm being completely real for you. But he does make up for his lack of primary fire abilities in his. Actually, no, they do a good, decent bit of damage. They're just really hard to hit consistently.
yeah.
First off, we have deflect, which it could deflect some crazy shit, dude.
You've ever seen? Have you ever played a Star Wars game? You ever just deflected shit with the lightsaber? Yeah, that.
Basically that. You could deflect some crazy shit, even some ultimates.
Yeah,
You could deflect ultimates with that shit. Like that shit's crazy. That on its own is an S tier ability. We have his dash, which does like I think like 50 damage or something, maybe a little bit more. It does a decent amount of damage, and it has an 8-second recharge. But if you actually get a kill on somebody that you at the very least hit with it, if that person, I think if that person dies, it'll recharge immediately. And Genji
yeah.
does have a passive ability which is called Cyber Agility. So they call it Cyber Agility, but he only has this passive ability because he's Japanese. He could climb walls.
Bruh.
He could climb walls and he could double jump. Again, that
Yeah.
ability is literally only because he's Japanese. Because there's two other Japanese characters in the game that also have that same ability. Then we have Dragon Blade, which again, it varies on how good it is
It's
depending on
nerfed to
who's.
hell.
Yeah, it's again depending on who uses it. Also depends on how good it is. Don't know why they keep nerfing Genji. He's always been one of the weaker characters in the game, but he does make up for it in how fun he is to play. I'd give him a good B tier.
I'd say he's yeah B.
Again, he's not that good of a character, but he's just fun to play.
How about how hot he is,
How high he is, probably an A tier. Same thing goes for his brother Hanzo.
bruh? Of course. All right, who's next?
Hanzo.
Okay, I didn't know it was Hanzo.
Yep. Again, A tier
Uh,
in hot, also from Japan, which gives him an A tier in country. Um,
I thought you said it was S tier.
did I say S tier? All right, it's S tier. So we have his bow, which is basically a sniper. You have
Yeah,
it doesn't have a secondary fire, but you can shoot it as fast or as slow as you want, depending on how much you charge it. It's really good, really good. Has a lot of potential one-shot capabilities and does numbers to tanks. In abilities, he has quite a few. He has Storm Arrow, which fires a fast barrage of arrows. It's really good for close range, or if there's like a Reaper pushing you or something. It's really good for
yeah,
that. It's also good at like just like taking out tank health really quickly. He has the Sonic Arrow, which allows you to see behind a wall. Really good tactical ability. I'd give that ability in itself an A tier. Then he has his lunge, which it's almost a double jump, but instead of jumping higher, you mostly go forward. You go a little bit higher,
yeah,
but you're mostly going forward. Or backwards, whatever direction you're jumping, you're moving.
yeah.
And then he has Dragon Strike, which is his ultimate. In terms of abilities, I give him an A tier overall. In terms of his bow, I give him A tier, maybe even S tier if it's in the right hands, but A tier for your average person. And then again, also has he's the Japanese wall climb. Again, it grants him a lot of mobility. Ultimate, I honestly, he shoots his arrow, and after that arrow travels far enough distance, it turns into a fucking noodle dragon,
Yeah, shoot
and
the whoop.
it goes through the entire map. However, it's very very easily avoidable, and you're almost never gonna get anybody with it unless you really place it well.
I
So
get jump scared by that shit.
yeah. Overall though, it doesn't really do too much.
I know
Um,
this is like a very commonly known fact, but I guess I feel like we should like talk about it. What are your thoughts about the fact that Genji and Hanzo were like supposed to be like the same character? Like it'd be a character with both a sword and a bow.
Eh, I don't know if I'd like that. But Hanzo overall, I'd give him an A tier. He's a great character all around.
A tier it is.
Mm-hmm. Junkrat comes from the mid country of Australia. Um, contrary to the popular opinion, I don't think he's that fun to play. Honestly, I like him. I don't hate him. I don't think he's boring, but I just don't think he's that fun either. He has his primary fire, which is just a grenade launcher. Pretty good. Does a lot of damage, and there's no secondary fire. He has concussion mines, which can be used as both a weapon and like a form of mobility. He could use it on himself, take 0 damage, and just jump forward at crazy distances. His mobility is great.
Yeah.
He has the steel trap, which honestly, once you get to a high enough level, nobody's falling for that shit anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's falling for that shit. And then he has his
But
passive
hey,
ability.
that's technically like area denial.
Yeah, yeah. So it has that as a usage, but then he also, again, so in terms of primary fire, it is pretty good, but you do need to know how to aim it a little bit. So I'd give it maybe like
Yeah,
a B tier.
you like Angry Birds, you're gonna have to be playing that shit.
Yeah, I'd give it a B tier for his abilities. I'd give him like a B tier as well. His ultimate does have team killing potential. His ultimate I'd give like an A or an S tier. I'd give it an S
Yeah.
tier. It has team killing potential, but it is leaves you the character very vulnerable, and it can be
Again,
shot
high
and killed
risk, high
with yeah.
reward.
Yeah, again, very high risk, high reward. But again, the reward is great. So I think you gotta give him an S tier for his ultimate, and then his passive ability. When he dies, he drops bombs. So any close range character that gets anywhere near him,
Bye bye.
I read McCree is Maury. I was like, who the fuck is Maury? Um, um,
So
I'd probably give him a B tier, honestly.
really, I mean, I
Yeah.
find Junkrat really fun to play.
I personally don't. I wouldn't be mad at him being an A tier, but I do find him as a B tier.
I see him as an A tier.
All right, put him in A. May gets a trip. In terms of attractiveness, he's kind of ugly. In terms of country of origin, S tier. There is no country better than China. 都是好像我现在我有冰淇淋，我很喜欢冰淇淋。They sure. May is literally Bing Chiling. She comes from China.
Yeah,
Um, she has her primary
my
fire,
favorite.
which used to freeze people, but now it just greatly slows them down. And she has her secondary fire, which is a really high damage icicle. I
Yeah,
still think her weaponry is pretty good. I give her an A tier for weaponry, maybe an
yeah.
S tier. Her wall F tier ability.
Hey,
F
hey,
F tier
hey!
ability.
If you're good at using it, it's good. All right?
Nobody's good at using it.
It could
Nobody's
block
good at
ultimates. It could block ultimates.
including your own teammates' ultimates,
That's if you're shit at May.
which most people are. I'm sorry, but
On
that
its
wall's an
own.
F tier.
On
That
its
wall
own.
is an F tier.
On its own. It's a
On
good.
its own, that wall has fucked me over more than it's helped me. I'm so sorry.
That is not the fault of the wall. That's the fault of the player.
Yeah, and all the players happen to be the
It
exact same
has
guy,
great
dude.
defensive potential.
Yeah, and nobody uses it. That wall benefits nobody. That wall doesn't benefit the enemy team. That wall doesn't benefit the fucking the friendly team. It's just not. It's not a good ability. I'm sorry. That ability on its own is an F tier.
I disagree. I like using it for cover whenever I like pushing the payload. You put it on the payload, they can barely hit you.
Yeah, put it on the payload. It blocked my diva bomb. It blocked my diva bomb as soon as I shot it. Oh fuck, got nobody. I'm sorry, but that wall is just not good. It's not a good ability. You have her cryo freeze, which freezes herself and allows her to heal. That's an S tier ability. It's a good ability.
Yeah.
However, it is easily timeable, and most good players will be able to
Yeah.
just basically headshot you out of that, which is unfortunate, but again, still pretty good ability overall. I give it like an A tier. Then we have her ultimate, which is really good, but again, also has that issue where it kind of does need to be combined with like other people. So I'd give that like a good B tier.
No, if you're like a good enough mate, you could like just wipe out
Ye-
like at
ye-
least three people at once with
Oh yeah,
when
of
to freeze
course,
them with the ultimate. I've
of
done that
course.
before.
That's how I got my first play of the game.
I think that was
Mm.
my first play of the game when playing Overwatch 2.
Overwatch 2 or Overwatch 2?
Overwatch 2.
Oh, that was my first play of the game in Overwatch in general.
Oh, in Overwatch in general, I don't know what the hell it was.
Yeah, I remember because I was playing the 2 day free trial, and I was playing as Mei, and I used her ultimate and I used her secondary fire to wipe everybody else
Yeah,
out. So yeah, I'd probably give that like a good B tier, maybe an A tier now I think about it, like on its own.
yeah, I'd say on its own, it's like an A tier at least.
Mei is still an S tier character thanks to her country of origin and thanks to her S tier hot.
I'd say she's triple S, but that's just me
S.
being biased.
Yeah, it's biased, not based.
S tier it is.
Mm-hmm. Next up we have Farah. Probably my least favorite hero to play as.
Fuck Pharah mains, bro.
Comes from Egypt, good country, good history.
Except for when it comes to the British.
We don't talk about British people. We'll
Isn't
get to
like
that.
the next character British though?
We'll get there.
All right, continue.
So Farah, she has her rocket launcher. Um, pretty good if you know how to hit it. I'd say play like pretty good like B tier, A tier. She has her rocket jump. She has her rocket jump, which gives her the high ground, which makes her a primary fire a lot more easy to use. She has a concussive blast, which basically just
It's
moves
just
anybody where you want them to go.
yeah,
Pretty good ability. Good at clearing up space. So in terms of her primary fire, I'd give that a good B tier. In terms of her abilities, I'd give those like a good A tier. Um, we have her rocket barrage, which is a good ultimate, but it leaves you really vulnerable. Another one of those high risk, high reward kind of things. But I think it is the riskiest with the least reward, so I'd probably give that a B tier.
yeah.
Because it does take a lot longer to kill everybody than everybody else's ultimate, and you're
And
left
it
so
it
vulnerable
could yeah, it could be really countered like by a diva,
by a diva, by Widow,
Widowmaker.
by
Anna just needs to get 3 hits in and she's dead.
or just a sleep dart. Honestly, you could get
Yeah, or
Roadhog
just
hooked.
sleep dart.
You could get Roadhog hooked.
It's
You could
very
just get,
counterable.
yeah, very counterable. Again, I don't think reward outweighs the risk for ultimate. Honestly, I'm willing to bring that down to a C tier.
Yeah,
And it takes a lot longer to kill everybody than any other high reward. Again, it does have the whole team killing potential, but it's just not worth it. And apparently, she has a passive. Oh, her hovering's I guess her passive ability. Um,
bruh.
um, and she's just so boring to play. Honestly, if you ask me, I think her boringness is an F tier. Her abilities are okay. I think overall she's a D tier character for me.
Really? Worse than Doomfist?
Yeah, I just Doomfist at least has the fun to make up for it.
All right.
For Pharah, it's not there. She has the hot, but so does Doomfist, so it doesn't really move her up that much. Next up, we have Reaper. Wait, I thought Reaper was Mexican.
Where's he from?
Italy.
He's from Italy? Why am I getting deja vu?
Well, I guess he's based in Italy, because that's what this thing shows. Where like it doesn't show like their birth country necessarily. It shows their countries of operation. But like
Bruh.
some of their countries of operation were their birth countries for most characters.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna need to double check for that. What country is Reaper from? His nationality is American. Born in. No, I just gotta straight up ask: is Reaper Mexican?
He looks Mexican to me.
He is Latino. I'm honestly confused on where he's from. So he's based in Italy. That's where he runs his shit. Sure.
Yeah,
I can accept that. He was
yeah.
born in the United States,
Uh huh.
but he
I'd
is
say
of
at
Latin
l-
origin.
I'd say like at least like he's Mexican American.
His nationality keeps showing up as American.
But look at him.
I know. Hold on. Let me go to Reddit.
Oh my god. Out of all places.
Okay. He was born in Los Angeles, but his family was Mexican.
See?
So he is of Mexican descent, yes.
Yes. He's American. He's Mexican American. This
Mexican
his
American. But
his
we're talking about
country
country.
of origin, so that's the US.
That's the U.S. Born in Los Angeles, California. B tier.
SoCal, I bet. B tier?
B
We're
tier.
there.
I know.
Alright, fair enough. I mean, we have both Hollywood and Skid Row, so I can see why that's B tier.
We have downtown Los Angeles, the worst place in existence. That's literally hell on earth.
You'd say it's worse than like New York?
New York was fun. I, even walking through alleys, I didn't feel like I was gonna get pulled up on by a homeless. You got $1. I didn't feel that in New York. And in New York, people get this. People know how to walk. They know how to walk. Anyways, we're supposed to be speeding this shit up. So Reaper has his primary fire, which is really good, really powerful shotgun. It keeps getting nerfed and buffed, so I don't even know where it's at in today's state in Overwatch. But I'm just gonna go with what I last remember. It was a really good primary fire. He has his abilities, which is fade and then like fucking teleport. Those are really good abilities. Fade makes him invincible for a second, and it reloads his gun. Teleport makes him very vulnerable, but it could give him like high ground advantages that he so desperately needs sometimes.
And then there's
Um,
the Pablo move.
then he has his passive ability, which for as much damage as he does, he will heal in that amount of damage. He will heal himself. He's self healing, really really good. In terms of hot, he's a pretty attractive dude. His ultimate, yeah, his ultimate's really good, but it's also can be really counterable. I give his ultimate an A tier. I think I give Reaper overall an A tier.
Alright, Reaper A tier.
Let me pull up the Overwatch list again because I was too busy googling other shit. um, let's see. We have Sojourn. Instant disgust. I don't like her.
How about we just do this?
I have experience with her.
That's it.
From
I'm not
Canada.
even putting her name on it.
Hold on. No. We'll give her a fair shot.
Alright, let's give her a fair shot.
Canada, worst country in the world.
Really?
The only thing good about
What?
Canada is hockey and syrup.
And the fact that they were able to end slavery without a civil war?
That's so fucking boring, Bradley.
What do you mean?
That's so fucking boring.
What do you mean?
Why would you want to end slavery without a civil war?
Why would you want a civil war?
It's fun. It's chaotic. It's quirky. Way down south in the land of traitors. Her primary fire, she has a railgun. She has a machine gun with basically 100% accuracy, shoots where you want it to go. She also has a railgun that also shoots with a 100% accuracy. It has headshot multipliers. She could one shot. She
Yeah.
can shoot wherever she wants. She has the potential to one shot, and she could shred. She has a power slide, which also gives her a high jump. You'll notice that a lot of power characters, black characters, they have the ability to jump and
You
reach
really
high
had to bring
locations
that
without
up.
effort.
You really had to bring that up.
Doomfist has a seismic slam, which gives him a jump now, Before a seismic slam used to just push him forward, but now it gives him a jump since they got rid of his uppercut. But either way, he still had that uppercut which made him jump really high. I am going to bring that up because I believe there is racial profiling in Overwatch.
Yeah, there is.
If you want to get really,
Wasn't
really
there like
racist,
diversity points for the freaking chart?
if you want to get really, really racist,
Don't say it. Don't say
you
it.
could also
Don't say
include
it.
you could
Don't
also
say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
you could also include Winston.
Don't say it. No! You bastard! You did the Pablo thing.
He has his jump
Fuck
too.
you.
Then we have her disruptor shot, which is again another really overpowered ability. I just don't get it. I just
Area
don't get why they
denial
made her
and
so
it
good.
does damage.
Yeah. Again, I think like an A or S tier for her in terms of as like a playable character. Her ultimate overclock, which so you know that railgun I was telling you about, you need to charge it up by doing damage.
Yeah.
Her ultimate just makes it instantly charge up, so you can just keep shooting those railgun shots as much as you want.
Yeah.
And
She,
and it has piercing, by the way.
yeah.
So yeah, she's kind of busted. She's got hops. She's kind of a baddie though.
Fair.
In country of origin, Canada, I'd give her a. Technically, she is a good hero. She is a good hero. So
Is she
technically, we do
fun?
have. Yeah, but she's only fun because she's broken. I feel like if they bounced her, she wouldn't be as fun. I'd
I'd
give
say
her
give her a or B.
A. Technically, she is good enough to be an A tier.
Yeah. I don't even know how to spell her name.
Sojourn.
O-U-R-N. Oh, I see it. Hold on.
You put it there?
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have Soldier 76. His country of origin is unknown. Hold on, we know he's from the United States, but like his
Yeah.
place is unknown. Let me see if I can. Well, I mean, I guess with the official Overwatch website says it's unknown. I'm assuming nobody else has an answer. So first of all, we have his assault rifle. Really good assault rifle. In the beginning of Overwatch 1, it had a bloom, kind of like how Fortnite has its guns, where the gun kind
Yeah.
of shoots in like a circular pattern. But now it has actual recoil, and it's so much better. It's so much more accurate. It's a little harder to control, but it's just so much better overall. Um, his gun does a lot of damage. It's really easy to hit, really easy to use. I'd give his gun an S tier, honestly.
Me too.
Especially if you're a man of Call of Duty Origins
Or Halo.
or Halo Origins, perfect guy for you. He has a sprint button, the only character with like an actual sprint.
Yeah.
Um, he has a biotic field is what it's called. It's just a little AOE healing effect, which is good, really good. And then he has a Helix rockets, which take a little bit of practice to aim a little bit, but once you get it down, it's so useful.
Yeah.
It can finish off a bunch of enemies. If you have to reload, just fucking Helix rocket them, and you'd be able to reload. I'd say S tier as a character. Overall, his ultimate's really good. Basically, just aimbot.
Yeah. It's auto
So
aim. I'd say he's S tier.
I'd say he's an S tier character too. He's really good overall. Easy to use. Kind of hot. Sombra from Mexico. S tier country. S tier country. We'll just
But
get
what
this
about
out
the
of the way.
corruption?
We're not. It's Mexico. It's the motherland, bro. It's the motherland, Bradley. Oh man, I left Nigeria in there for you. All right, Nigeria's an S tier. Nigeria was an S tier, so is Mexico.
All right then.
Because you're from Nigeria, apparently.
No, I'm not.
Uh, Bradley, completely serious. Jokes aside, do you know like what your African
I do not know.
nationality, like what country you guys are from in particular?
I
If there's a place in particular or no?
I do not know.
You don't? No.
I would love to find out though.
You probably take like a heritage test, give the government your DNA, and they give you your.
They already have everything else on my file. Why not?
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, that was like a genuinely serious question. Like if you knew where
Yeah,
you're.
that's a fair question.
We have a machine pistol for Sombra. Really weak, honestly. I still think it's. I love playing Sombra. I played her a lot. She's my most played DPS as of right now. Um, that pistol is weak as fuck. I think Tracer's slowly starting to become my more played DPS just because I don't like the changes they made to her in Overwatch 2. Sorry. But
That's
yeah,
fair.
it's okay. It fires fast. But again, I never thought a 60 round mag wouldn't be enough. I never thought that would ever have been an issue. We have her hack, which very very shortly, maybe like a second or two, disables enemy abilities. But now it just makes them more susceptible to damage, which fixes that issue with the gun as before. Um, Makes them more susceptible to damage, and all the enemy team knows where they're at, or
Yeah.
all the friendly team knows where they're at.
Yeah.
We have her invisibility cloak, which is really good. Always been really good. It's essentially a sprint, actually. Now I think about it,
Yeah.
she sprints. She's invisible, but she can't attack or really do anything. I don't even think she can contest points. Then we have the translocator, which is a really good ability. You could leave it next to
Teleporting
a health
beacon,
pack.
basically.
Yeah. Also, you could use the hack to hack health packs and leave them for your team and your team only. It's also another
Yeah.
really good thing about Sombra. So her hack's probably like an S tier ability. Her invisibility is probably like an A tier ability. For translocator, I'd probably give an A tier ability. And she has her EMP, which deals equal to 40 damage of all the enemies' nearby health, hacking them and destroying all their barriers. Yeah, her ultimate's okay now. I don't really like her ultimate anymore. I don't really like her too much as a character anymore. I still like her as a character. I just prefer Overwatch 1 Sombra a lot more.
That's fair.
I think I give this
Uh,
Sombra an A tier. She's
Another
still
A.
good. She does. I
She's
just
just
don't
not
think
as
she's
good
as
as
fun
she
anymore.
was.
I don't think she's as fun anymore. They did technically buff her,
Yeah.
but I just don't think she's as fun as she was anymore. Like she does 40% more damage now to hacked enemies, which is crazy. Exactly what she needed, but I would rather have the low damage than the old Sombra playstyle.
I see. Who's next?
Instant F tier.
Who is it?
Symmetra.
Next.
Yep, instant F tier. One thing I gotta say about her. No, I said Canada was the worst country. I was
Yeah.
wrong. India is the worst country. And she's from a fictional city in India, which is even worse. If there's three countries I hate the most, it's Britain, Britain, and Canada.
You're saying Russia is better than Canada?
Look, this is Bit Richard talking, alright?
Yeah.
When we were talking about Zarya, that was in Bit Richard. This is Bit Richard. Yeah, Torbjorn comes from Sweden. Ugly ass motherfucker. I'm not a big fan of his guns personally. They are good technically. I just don't like the way they shoot. They don't feel good in my hands, but they are technically good. So I give it like
Yeah.
a good B tier. He has his hammer, but it's honestly more of like a gag weapon than anything.
Yeah.
It's more of a gag weapon, so technically I'll give that a C tier. We have his turret, which is also
Does
nicknamed
all the
the
work
most
for him?
valuable player. Most valuable player on the team. It does all the work for the whole team.
Yeah. S tier.
So yeah, that's an S tier ability, and he also has an overload, which gives him a lot of armor and gives him a faster fire rate, faster reload speed.
And then his ultimate.
And then his ultimate, Molten Come, really good
Splooges
ultimate. It
everywhere.
does a lot of area denial, a lot of damage when somebody actually lands in it. That pretty good ultimate. I give that like an S tier ultimate, honestly. It has team killing
Yeah.
potential too. Doesn't leave him too vulnerable. It's really good. I think overall I give Torbjorn like a B tier.
Yeah, I was thinking he's B.
Yeah, he's useful. He has his things to him. I just don't think he's that fun of a character either. So this next up we have the only good British person to ever exist.
Dan TDM.
I'm sorry, but he's sexist. Um,
Bruh.
we have Tracer, only good British person. Oh my god, I remember when Rampart first came out in Apex, and I was just like, ew, she's from India, and this was, but like she's British too. Oh my god, Pablo, you just made it worse.
Fucking Pablo! Oh, by the way, I made Symmetra even lower than low.
How low is lower than low?
That low.
Oh, I see what you did. Tracer, she's from England. I'm sorry, Tracer. You're gonna have to get like a good F tier for your country of origin.
Damn.
You'll make up for it for a triple S and hot.
Yeah.
So right now you're at a C tier. Primary fire, beautiful, beautiful. Has a potential one clipping ability. Um, it kills. It
Although
shreds
I'm
fast. It kills
terrible with
fast.
it. You
Um,
know what's funny? The reason why I kind of like started playing Overwatch is because I want to get good as Tracer, only to then never play her because I suck.
we both have a similar story, except I actually ended up getting half decent as Tracer. We have her ability Blink, which is probably one of her most recognizable abilities. She just blinks forward, blinks backward, blinks wherever you need her to go, gives her great mobility, good to use as an escape ability, good to use as an attack ability. Overall, great ability, A tier. Her guns, I give probably A tier. I wouldn't go as far as to say S tier, but definitely A tier. And then she has recall, which you travel time 15 seconds, and you get that same health. You get the health back that you were when you used it.
You
Amazing
revert
escape
back.
ability.
Yeah.
Amazing escape ability. And then we have her pulse bomb, which it honestly kind of depends on whose hands it is in. It doesn't. You can't really throw it that far. It charges up really quickly, which is one thing we need to
Yeah.
take into consideration: how quickly ultimates charge. This ultimate charges up really quickly. It has potential to kill the whole team, especially when combined with Zarya's ultimate. It's a
Yeah.
great ultimate overall. I'd give that an A tier. I think overall, putting biases aside as her being my favorite character to play, I'd give her an A
I
tier, but I want to give her a triple S.
I say she's S.
You say she's S? I'll let you put her
I
in
say
S.
she's S.
I'll let you put her in S, but I think putting my biases aside, I think she belongs in A. You
Yeah, well, if we allowed biases to be here, I'd say May would be in triple S.
know what? I think I was supposed to put her there as a joke. I think that was my idea at the beginning because
Bruh.
because China. So you know what? Put May there. That'll be the placeholder for China.
Alright.
You put this as the China. Oh no, you didn't. Change this to China, please.
Even though May was kind of a symbol for Hong Kong, but alright.
Chinese is Chinese. Oh my god. So we have we have a Widowmaker again, triple S for hot, I believe.
Yes!
But she's French, which means she smells. So I think that drops her down to just a regular S for hot. So she has apparently her gun is called Widow's Kiss. She has a
Yeah.
sniper, which one taps headshots basically anything that's a DPS slash doesn't have armor. Um, Pretty good gun. It also has the ability to come back to a machine gun, so if anybody gets close to you, you have some way to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Um, we have a grappling hook, which allows her to which could both be used as a way to gain like high ground or gain like good positioning, or it could also be used as an escape ability if you really need it to be. She has her Venom Mine, which honestly I've never been a big fan of. That's just me though. I give her Venom Mine with C tier. I give her Grappling Hook in A tier. I give her Gun in S tier because it like in the right hands it could be fucking just devastating.
Yeah.
And then we have her ultimate, which is low key kind of
Wall hacks.
wall hacks. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of like her ultimate, honestly.
I have. I feel Widowmaker's really fun to play.
She is fun. Yeah, I'd give her an A tier as a character. And that
Really?
is our last. Yeah, I'd give her A tier.
All right. I mean, I
And
would have given her an S.
really
Yeah. I think her being that fun kind of makes up for it.
fill in that spot then. Fill in that empty spot for me. Support. Now for Anna, she's from Egypt. Decent country, decent country.
Mm-hmm.
Founding member of Overwatch. Um, she has her gun, which has the ability to both heal and or damage
And
enemies,
yeah, it
or
does damage over time.
does damage to enemies, heals teammates. Really good weapon. She's
It's a
actually
hit
like one of the
scan.
best healers. It's a hit
Yeah.
scan if you ADS. It's not a hit scan if you're hip firing.
Yeah, if you're hip firing, it's projectile based.
She's actually like I think like considered like the best healer in the game right now. I think she just outputs a lot of healing. There is just a bit of a skill curve though. Again, you just need to be able to hit your shots. She has her sleep dart, which is like a S tier ability. It can shut down so many
Yeah.
ultimates. And like even with Roadhog's ultimate, how I said like it's good because like it can't be shut down completely by her ultimate. If you let him sleep long enough, you basically shut down the ultimate.
Yeah.
That basically just depends on your team, but still it's a really good ability.
She's
It
really
charges
good
it has a
counter from.
slow
She's a good
charge up
counter
time.
against healers.
Yeah, yeah, which is where her biotic grenades comes in. Her biotic
Yeah.
grenade not only heals your teammates, it also makes them heal more. So like the amount of healing they take is just increased. And if enemies are hit by it, it does damage and they can't get healed.
Mm-hmm.
It is really fucking good. So I give her abilities at S tier, S tier. I think honestly, I think as just as a playable character in the right hand, she could be like a triple S character. Honestly.
Yeah.
And her ultimate nano boost gives damage resistance. I think increased damage and decreased damage taken.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just
I say
crazy.
she's triple S.
I'd give her a triple S as a
Oh, and
character. Yeah.
also she has one of the best skins in the game, the sniper skin.
Yeah, she's a fucking
She's
crazy
triple,
healer.
like
Honestly.
non-ironically, she's triple S.
Yeah. She's crazy healer. Again, there's a huge skill curve. You're not gonna get play of the game with
Yeah,
her. You're not gonna
you're
get play of
not.
the game.
You're not.
I've
You're
tried
not that
for
guy.
two times. Two times. Two times I tried that challenge. I got stuck on Ana both times.
Yeah, Anna,
I actually,
the only
actually,
other healer I main.
I actually got Mercy done before her.
Yeah,
I got Mercy done in the Mystery Hero stream that I was doing. And I got Mercy. And I was just like, oh fuck, that counts as my Mercy play of the game. I even did Zenyatta too. I did so many, I did Brigitte, I did so many healers before I even got to fucking Ana. It's crazy. I think I even did Baptiste a couple of times because I had a Baptiste phase.
yeah.
But yeah, I got play the games with almost every healer. All I would have needed is Lucio, Kiriko, and
Anna.
and Moira. No, well,
Oh,
Kiriko wasn't even in the game yet when I was doing that. I would have just
oh
needed
yeah.
Lucio and Moira. Had I just gotten through Anna.
Mhm.
But she's still a triple S character, very useful to the team. I recommend, but again, skill curve, so I don't recommend using her if your aim's not that good.
Yeah.
And then her young skins, oh,
Especially sniper.
from Haiti. My favorite president ever told me Haiti's a shithole, so F tier for country.
God damn.
My favorite president ever told me that. Sorry. Uh, we have the biotic launcher, which is a gun that you could choose whether to shoot burst fire that does damage to enemies, or shoot basically a grenade launcher that heals.
All right, what else does Baptiste do?
So I think that's pretty good. The damage is great. The healing is also pretty good on that, but you do kind of need to be able to land the healing. A bit of skill curve, more of a skill curve to healing than doing damage. He has regenerative burst, which is one of the best healing abilities in Overwatch. It just gives like a giant health boost to like. It just gives like a giant burst of healing to everybody within the area of effect.
Yeah.
Then we have another really good ability, which is Immortality Shield, which you can still take damage, but like the last maybe like 50 health that you have left, you're not gonna take any
You'll
damage
be
from that at all.
invincible.
You'll be invincible, yeah. So long as you're within its effect area of effect, really good. It can be shot down, so it's not too broken. I still think it's an S tier ability. His regenerative burst, I think A tier ability. Those are his only abilities. He has what is technically a passive ability, which gives him hops.
Don't say it. Do not say it.
I'm not. And so in terms of his gun, I give his gun like maybe like an A tier, maybe even B tier, just because again the healing does kind of take some skill to land, and it's not that great. The regenerative burst, I give an A tier. His immortality field, I give an S tier. Then we have his ultimate ability, which I've never
I
really
don't
seen
think
it in
is.
good hands.
Yeah.
I think it can be good because shooting through it gives you amplified damage, and
I'd say it's like an A tier
we'll
ultimate.
give it an A tier just to be safe. But honestly, I haven't really seen it used to its full potential, just because we're in such low ranks ourselves.
Yeah.
Um, and that I think he's a really good healer. I'd give him an A tier healer.
Uh, yeah.
And as a character, he's pretty cool too. He's just a cool guy. Used to work for Talon, now works for Overwatch. Good, bad guy gone good. Brigitte, my fit. I'm gonna have to put biases aside for this one.
All right then. Continue.
From Sweden, mid country. Now she used to be absolutely broken, which I would have given her a triple S when she first came out. But they have balanced her a lot more, and there's a lot of things she can't do. First of all, we have her rocket flail, which is her primary fire. Think of her as a weaker Reinhardt that can heal.
Yeah.
She has her rocket flail, really good, really good. She has her repair pack. So with her rocket flail, she actually could heal herself while she's doing that. And while she's dealing damage, she has this passive ability called Inspire, which heals not only herself but everybody else around her, which is her main way to heal. She also has Repair Pack, so if somebody's a bit further like out of your Inspire range, you could heal them with that. We have Whip
Yeah.
Shot. Whip Shot is what most people use. So what you want to do is you want to engage the attack with Whip Shot. Like that's how you want to start off the attack. Here's how I play her, which is the most effective way. I think it is the most
Okay.
effective way to play her. If you're focusing one person, you whip shot that one person, you shield bash towards that one person, then you finish them off with your flail.
Yeah. That's
That's
what usually happens to me.
yeah. Whip shot first. You use a shield to close the distance that whip shot does. Using whip shot will activate inspire, which will heal all your teammates around you too. Overall, she's just like a really good, useful character, but she's not that great. I think honestly, I'd give her a B tier. Her ultimate's great. It gives everybody over health.
All right. Yeah.
And
B
it gives
tier it
everybody.
is.
Yeah, I'd give her a B tier as a character. She's not crazy, but she is my favorite character in terms of fun. I'd give her a triple S, but again, that's all bias. I think most people would probably experience like a B tier with her. Kiriko, I actually really like Kiriko.
I haven't played her.
She has the Japanese wall jump. She has the Japanese wall climb. She's from Japan, which S tier country. Oh my god, going to work is gonna be so scary. It's raining so hard.
Oh boy.
Um,
Oh shit! It is.
we have her healing ability, which is called Healing Ofuda. This is technically her primary fire. Um, It shoots like all these fucking papers that fucking heal enemies. It heals more than one enemy at once, and you
Heals
just
enemies?
oh my god, teammates, brain fart. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good healing. It does a lot of healing. It can heal more than one person at once. It's just overall really good. Her secondary fire is technically her kunai. Again, they're a bit hard to hit, but they do a decent amount of damage. If you get headshots, you're golden. We have her swift step, which teleports you directly to any like relatively close ally. Really good if you need like some sort of escapability and there's a guy already dead that you could just teleport to. That's far away from the fight. Or
I
if you
see.
that's one way you could use. You could also use it to engage in the fight faster if you need to get there faster. It's really good. Then she has the protection little grenade thing. You throw it, and for a second, it just makes you and your allies invincible.
Yeah.
And um, reading this thing, it's also cleanse of most negative effects. So if there's any damage over
Yeah.
time being done to you, if you're on fire, and I guess it works against antis too. So
Yeah, it
yeah,
works against anti.
here's your Anna counter. I think the fact that she could counter Anna kind of makes her an S tier, honestly.
Yeah, I'd say she's S tier.
Oh, then her ultimate, making everybody move so much faster. Dude, Roadhog's ultimate with fucking Kiriko.
I've
Holy
seen
shit.
that shit.
Oh,
Oh my
it's
god.
terrifying. It's actually
I'm putting
terrifying.
her in S tier immediately.
Yeah, S tier. I don't think she's as good as Anna, but she can definitely compete with a good Anna. She can compete.
Yeah.
A good Kiriko and a good Anna could compete with each other. It's fucking crazy. It Lucio, he's one of the funnier characters, I think, personally.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's from Brazil, F tier country. A lot of F tier countries in this game. A lot of F tier countries in
Yeah.
this game. Honestly, where's our good
Uh,
countries like our Eurasian countries? Like, where's our good countries like Japan, Mongol? Oh, there's Japan. Where's our Mongolian characters? You know,
um,
Where's our Afghan characters?
um,
Where, where's our Czechoslovakian characters? Where's our Albanian characters? Those are good countries.
I'm
Where's
not
our
sure how you would.
Where's most of South America? Where's most of South America?
I don't think people at Blizzard could spell those countries.
They can't spell Argentina. They can't spell Chile.
Correct.
Anyways, we have a sonic amplifier. It's this thing. It shoots like a little burst. It's kind of hard to hit, but it does do decent damage. Um, and I don't think it has damage fall off. I don't think, but I'm not too sure about that personally. Then we have crossfade. So with Lucio, you could choose whether you want to heal your teammates or give them a
Or make
speed
them
boost.
faster.
So yeah, you have that option. The healing is not that amazing, and the speed boost is not that amazing, but it's there. It's constant. So a constant low stream of healing is really good to have. But he also has amp it up, which amplifies the healing, amplifies the speed boost depending on which one you're using. Really good ability. And then we have sound
Yeah.
wave, which is also known as boop.
Yeah. The boom.
Boop. Lucio. He also has a wall running ability. He could slide along the
Straight from
walls. It's really
Titanfall.
good. Really good ability. Straight from Black Ops 3. I'm just kidding.
Bruh.
But yeah, it's really good. You can actually use it to move faster. If you keep jumping on and off the wall, you get a little bit of a speed boost.
I see.
But yeah, it's a really good ability too. It's really good movement ability. It makes him a little bit fun. Lucio's overall a fun character to play, but he's not the funnest. I think I'd give him like a B tier in terms of fun. In terms of weapon, I'd give it a B tier. In terms of ability, I think he's just a B tier.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Then we have Murky. Terms of hot, triple S. Terms of country of origin, C. We have her Caduceus staff. I think that's how it's pronounced.
I I just know it's the healing staff.
It's a healing staff. You
Which
could
is
use it to
funny
either
because
give a
like
damage boost.
I main her.
You could either damage boost or heal. But the thing is, you're kind of stuck to just healing one person at a time. That's one of Mercy's downfalls. You can only heal like
Yeah.
one person at a time unless you're using your ultimate.
You
Again,
really
I
gotta
think
like
one
manage
reason,
everybody's health. It turns to a completely different game at that point.
yeah, that's one reason why Mercy's not used too often. She typically could only heal one person at a time as opposed to everybody else who could heal multiple people at once. Then we have her. I guess I'd consider this her secondary fire. Her pistol that she can pull out for self-defense just in case.
Yeah.
Really high damage
It's basically
pistol.
the same as Diva's like pistol when she's out of her mech, but it has a slightly lower firing rate, but does more damage
Yeah, I was gonna say. She has Guardian Angel, which allows her to fly towards any ally.
if they're within her sight.
Yes, and if you crouch, you could use it to give yourself another boost forward too. It's
Yeah.
really good for bringing you closer to the fight, and yeah. We have her Res, which again just revives an enemy. S tier ability, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd say even a triple S
Well,
tier ability.
it makes you very vulnerable.
It does, but the amount of value it could bring to the team,
Yeah.
and most people don't take advantage of you being still like that, honestly.
What kind of mercy are you playing? Because I always get shot whenever I try to res somebody.
Honestly, if you have other teammates distracting, actually being a threat, that's when you have your res. Have to res. We have Angelic Descent, which is her passive ability, which she falls slower than anybody else.
Yeah.
Then we have Valkyrie, which is her ultimate ability. It gives her actual flight instead of like a glide.
Yeah.
It gives her unlimited ammo, so you don't have to reload. Your mobility is just fucking crazy,
And you get to
and
heal
you can
multiple
heal
people at a time, along
or
with
do
damage
damage
boosting them.
boosts. So yeah, I give her like a.
I like playing as her.
She's okay.
I'd say she's S tier.
I wouldn't put her that high, dude.
Really? I
I
mean,
really
okay,
wouldn't.
fair enough. But I wouldn't say she's like B tier.
You know, Bradley, I was on the verge of considering C tier, but yeah, A tier is
No,
good.
she
Yeah,
is not C tier.
I'll take A tier. That's fine,
Yeah.
but definitely not S tier. That's all bias right there, buddy.
Yeah, but like, she is not C tier.
Fair, reasonable. Moira,
Um, the players, I put
she's
the
from
players of
Iraq.
Moira at F
No, she's
tier.
Irish. I think she's Irish.
Yeah, she's Irish, isn't she?
I think she's based in Iraq.
Yeah.
Ireland,
You can't tell the difference between that and Scotland, can you?
the Scottish people, fuck sheep.
What the hell?
Irish people make pie out of them. Huh. I'm thinking of what I really think about Ireland. Honestly, I have mixed feelings about Ireland. I feel bad for them.
What's wrong with Ireland?
I don't think anything's really wrong with Ireland. I just kind of feel bad for them. Imagine your neighbor being England and your neighbor being like really mean to you all the time, and then running out of potatoes every once in a while, and sucks to be Irish, dude. So her primary fires is Biotic Grasp, which could suck enemies. It drains the life out of the enemies. That's how it works, and you could use that life you get to put back into your teammates. That's how it's supposed to work. However, most Moiras forget that there's a right click.
Yeah, Moira players just forget that. Hey, you're supposed to heal the team.
Yeah, Moira players kind of forget that. There's also a damage orb and a healing orb. Again, most Moira players forget that there's a healing orb. Um, there's the fade, which most Moira players use to just run away. Then there's her
Mm-hmm.
ultimate, which could heal and do damage, but most people forget that it heals.
Yeah.
Thanks to the players, Moira's probably like a D tier. But I think in terms of like what she actually can do, she's closer to like B or C.
Yeah, hold on, give me a second. Continue.
I think like when like the way you're actually supposed to play her, she actually could be closer to like B or C.
Yeah, which is why I'm putting this.
What are you putting? People who play Moira.
And then Moira, I'd put at like B tier at minimum.
Yeah. This A and B tier is like really fucking crowded, as well as S.
Yeah.
All right. I think we have only one more healer left. I'm not too sure. Yep. Zenyatta.
I'll let you take this one because I don't touch Zenyatta.
And Zenyatta's a character I touch a lot. Zenyatta's primary fire, amazing. You have two options. You have like the shoot each one at a time. Just boom, 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 boom.
Or you shoot a bunch.
It has great range. You can do a lot of damage, especially when you use Discord. I'm howling at the moon, sleeping in the middle of summer afternoon. You also have her secondary fire, which you can charge up to 5 shots to be shot up all at once in really rapid succession, kind of like. Yeah, so nice, good five round burst, and yeah, it's really good. Really good if you're trying to take out a tank really quickly, or if somebody's just getting uncomfortably close to you. That's what it's good for. And the primary fire is good for like people more at like medium to long range. However, you can use it at close range too, and it's still pretty effective. Again, it kind of just depends on the situation. His primary fire, I give it a good S tier. There is a little bit of a skill curve because you need aim, but like the damage he does is
Yeah.
amazing. He's borderline a DPS character, honestly.
Yeah, he's a DPS character who sometimes heals.
And the healing can be constant because the healing's an orb.
Yeah.
And you put that orb on one character. He kind of has mercy syndrome where you can only heal one character at a time.
Yeah, but like as a Zenyatta player, you're not going to be thinking about healing people as much.
Yeah.
Because like you
I mean,
just
still
throw
think
the
about
orb
it.
and forget about it.
Still think about who needs to be healed. Pay
Yeah.
attention to your critical signs and change the healing orb based on that.
Yes,
But
please.
your primary job, as keep in mind the class is called support, not healer.
Yeah.
Your primary job is to make sure to put pressure on the enemies, especially using that Discord. That Discord is just as important as your healing.
Yeah.
You need to use that Discord a lot, and if you have communications with your team, tell your teammates who you have Discorded.
Mhm.
And if you have a teammate that's more experienced than the rest of you, they'll tell you who's probably best to Discord. But Discord's a great ability. The healing's kind of whack. It's pretty weak healing, but I mean it's there. It's not useless. I give his healing like a C tier. I give his Discord like an S tier. I give his primary fire an S tier, and I give his fun. For me, he's fun, but I can see how he could get boring for some people.
Yeah,
I could
I
see that.
don't see how he's fun.
Like there's a bias there. So for fun, I'll give him a C. I think in total as a character, I'd give him an A.
I'd say B.
Fuck you, A. He's
A it
really
is.
useful. He is.
Yeah, he's really useful.
Again, basically a third DPS. I mean, if your DPS is doing jack shit, that's when you switch to Zenyatta.
Yeah.
You,
And that's
that's the
that's the
Overwatch
list.
character tier
That's the
list.
Overwatch character tier list.
See, Bradley, we did it in time. We spent a lot of time on tanks, which
Yeah.
which probably my fault. If I didn't have work today, I would be willing to make this a 4 hour long stream. Honestly, I would have been willing to like just
Yeah.
go into as much detail as I did with the tanks.
Yeah.
But like once I realized we were already an hour and 16 minutes in, by the time we finished the tanks, I was just like, oh fuck, we need to speed this up.
That's why I asked, hey, did you want to make this a two-parter or you want to do
Nah.
this in like next Sunday? But yeah, we got through it in like 2 hours or so.
Yeah, 2.5 hours. A little longer than I'd like the podcast to be, but it's
It's
good.
one of the longer episodes.
Yeah. Again, I'm trying to cut it down to an hour and a half, but fuck,
We got content, bro.
we got content.
So
Yeah.
to go from top to bottom, we got May.
Well, some
Anna.
of these are just in order based on like alphabetical slash where they showed up in the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the person in front is not
I'm
necessarily the
going.
better character.
Yeah, I'm
Just
saying from like tiers.
yeah,
Yeah. Further on the right means they were put later on the list.
yeah.
It has nothing to do with the quality or comparing which characters next to them. But yeah, triple S tiers belongs to May and Ana.
Yes.
S tiers: Junker Queen, Wrecking Ball, Bastion, Echo, Widowmaker, Soldier 76, Tracer, and Kiriko.
For A
And
tier, we
then
have Diva, Reinhardt, Roadhog, Ash, McGee, Hand Soap, Junkrat, Reaper, Sojourn, Sombra, Baptiste, Mercy, the Yada, not the Yadas. Read B tier.
B tier we got Orisa, Nuts, Winston, Zarya, Genji, Torbjorn, Baguette, Lucio, and Moira.
In C tier, we have Doomfist.
D tier we have Farah.
In F tier, we have Moira players.
Yeah, cause fuck you guys. Please just heal the fucking team for once. And uh,
Can you throw tomatoes in Minecraft?
I don't think there is tomatoes in Minecraft.
Damn.
But
Just
hey,
stop.
we got this.
Hold on. Oh, here's what I was gonna do.
What were you going to do? Oh, I ran out of spider eyes.
I have unlimited snowballs.
Um, so do I.
Alright, that's the end of the stream. Goodbye.
All right, see ya. Watch the next episode of the
Oh,
RnB podcast.
yes. It's gonna be really good because we have absolutely nothing planned.
Correct.
We have a whole week to think about it. Come on.
Yeah, we got time.
Honestly, one thing I just want to say before I leave, I think it's like easier to start a podcast if you're already like a well-known,
Person.
yeah, because
Yeah,
like you could get guests on there that are already well-known and have conversations with new people all the time.
yeah,
But we're gonna work with what we got. And
yeah.
that is the end of today's podcast. So our next tier list episode is going to be Five Nights at Freddy's. We're going to rank Five Nights
Yes.
at Freddy's games and all Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics.
Oh, I thought those were gonna be two separate tier lists.
They're going to be separate tier lists, but they're going to be in the same episode just because there's so little games.
Okay, fair enough.
There's only like, what, 6 games, 7 games?
Yeah.
Yeah. FNAF 1, 2, 3, 4, Sister Location, Pizzeria
Pizzeria
Simulator,
Simulator.
AR if you want to count it, Ultimate Custom Night, and Security
Help
Breach.
Wanted.
Oh yeah, and Hope. Oh, there's like 10 games, maybe 9. Yeah, well, we'll get there when we get there. But
Yeah,
like, there's
we'll
only
see
like
what
10 games
happens.
compared to like the fucking 30 something Overwatch characters and like the fucking 20 Call of Duty games. You know,
Yeah.
how many Call of Duty games are there? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, 20.
You didn't include Democracy, did you?
I probably did.
I'll count.
Democracy is the Call of Duty game. Trust. That is how we ended the podcast.